Hi. How you doing, James and Dyer and Doodlebug? That's a little bit loud. Let's see here. Turn that down. So, hi, Cassie. It's been a week, hasn't it? All right, let's recap. Are we too traumatized to recap? Hi, Ricky and Tiger. What's up? We too traumatized to recap? All right, so I want to say something, and some of you may not even find it appropriate, and I apologize if it offends anybody. Um, but all this week, I have had this sinking feeling, and the last time I remember feeling it was on 9/11. Um, when I sat there in front of a television set, just helplessly watching my country being attacked and not knowing where the next hit would be or if I was safe. And I feel like I've watched that this week in my country. I feel like I've just watched these states fall like dominoes. Um, Massachusetts being the absolute worst, of course. Hello, Michelle and Casey and Jerry. How you doing? Um, and me just kind of sitting here being powerless to stop it, um, and not knowing, how close it was going to come or how much it might affect me or if I was even safe. And I have had this just sinking, hopeless feeling all week that, hi, F State, how you doing? Um, and the last time I remember feeling this helpless and scared was on 9/11. Just like I said, watching a television and just not knowing where the next attack would be. I mean, not knowing if there would be another attack or where it would be. And um, it's so ironic. Thank you, Michelle. And it's so ironic that it comes the week after we spent all that time in DC. I want to tell you guys all about it because it was a good trip. Um, we were obviously facing the onslaught of this epidemic. Um, we all know the truth. There isn't anybody in here. Hi, Jay. How are you doing, sweetheart? Um, that there isn't anybody in here that's going to be in the show that's going to not know what, know that the truth, right? We know that vaping isn't causing a problem. We know, hello, Dolores and Steven, what's up? We know that it's the tainted THC cartridges. Oh, new report showing that some of these, hi, Frank, that some of these cartridges are now laced with hydrogen cyanide. That's a fun one, right? Well, I mean, Dolores, I wasn't sure what all that stuff you guys did was that. I wasn't sure what all that stuff you guys did was that. Um, no, Michelle. Michelle, let me tell you something about the PMTAs. Okay. The PMTAs are an exhaustive and expensive process that pretty much nobody can pass. Okay. They haven't even given us the final guidance on it yet. They've given us, well, no, they've given us guidance, but it's not like set in stone yet. Okay. They keep adding and subtracting shit to it. Okay. And so, but they're not moving the deadline. Okay. They keep giving us different shit, and then they don't move the deadline. All right, so deadline's still there. There isn't even enough time to get the testing that they want done, even if we could afford it, which we can't. Okay, done between now and May 11th, I think. And no, and even the big boys, okay, even the big boys cannot do this. Okay, there are a few maybe that could submit a PMTA, but the chances that they're going to be approved are so slim. Okay, there's just so many variables. Okay, cyanide is found in pretty much all grown foods. In some levels, they never stated the dosages. That is true, dire thing. That is true. And that is what I read actually, is that hydrogen cyanide is used as an insect repellent in uh, weed plants. So, and that translates into the THC, which then translates into the. Yeah, I get it. But um, so we have we went to DC, right? We had a day and a half of presentations, experts, um, heads of things like Kasa and Tony, of course. Greg did not speak. Greg was too busy doing kick-ass interviews, just kick-ass interviews. Oh my God, Greg killed it. Greg killed it and has been killing it left and right on every interview that he's done. And if you have not seen any of Greg Connolly's interviews, holy crap, man, he knows how to handle these people. He knows how to handle them. Obviously, he knows how to handle them if they're friendly, but he definitely knows how to handle them if they're combative. Chris Cuomo would be the one I would point out. Is amazing, that interview. I mean, Chris just kept pounding at Greg, and Greg just kept giving it back to him. Handled him like a champ. And that was the first thing I said to Greg when I saw him too. I was like, "You killed it! How did you not lose your shit with that guy?" He's all like, "Cause I've done it 100,000 times." He was exhausted. He did not show up until Monday night, actually. Yes, the interview on C-SPAN this morning was awesome, and you could tell Greg was a little starstruck. I thought that was kind of cute. He's apparently wanted to get on C-SPAN for quite some time, and the fact that he was able to get on and have a very successful interview. I loved his reaction to that woman who called and said, "People should just roll their own." He's all like, if you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. This woman called in. She said, "It's not the tobacco. It's all these chemicals that are in cigarettes and in vaping that are killing people. People should just roll their own." And he went, "No, you shouldn't be smoking anything." And she goes, "Hold up. God did not put tobacco on this planet to kill us." No, I don't think God put tobacco on this planet to kill us. I think that what we do with the tobacco is killing us. But that's a story for another time. It was hilarious, though. People have made gifs of his reaction because his reaction was priceless. It was absolutely priceless. So you can check out Greg's page, and he's got the gif up. It's just too funny because he's all like, so anyway, because they took callers to call in and talk to him, and he held his own. It was great. He absolutely held his own. Greg is a really great guy. I've met him many times, and he's come to a lot of our GSFA meetings, and obviously I've seen him at other events as well. When he came in, he got there late Monday night and came straight to the cocktail hour, and I think he was tired of kind of getting bombarded, so he sort of snuck in, and actually I think he saw us sitting at a table, and he kind of snuck over to us, like, "Oh, look, there's a friendly face," and just sort of hid out with us, kind of anonymously for a couple of minutes before people started hounding him and hugging him and congratulating him, and of course he had to get up and speak, and everybody applauded and whatnot because he is pretty awesome and tireless. She was the only one there. Was more than one person called in saying stuff like that. No, she was the only one, actually, Stevie, I mean, the only one during the interview. I mean, there may have been other people who called, but oh, you had to do it. You had to do it.
Peanut Butter Buster is mine, bitch. Key lime on screen is mine. What the? Who's that bitch now?
All right. So, in any case, yeah, we had it like there was a day and a half of presentations. We had a cocktail hour. Then I met Kara Tibbetts. If you haven't seen her on Facebook, she's pretty awesome. Hi, Yardbird. And Pack Rat, what's up? So cool. Bam Bam. RS, love you guys so much. Um, so, now the funny thing was actually when we finished the first day and we were headed over to Americans for Tax Reform, which is the reception that we had, the cocktail hour that we had afterward. Um, we had started talking with. Actually, I'm gonna say I was a little starstruck. I'm gonna admit it. I was a little starstruck because Mr. Matt Cully, Suck My Mod. I have been following him for years now, and I think I really like him. I like his no nonsense attitude, and I like the way that he presents facts. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't watched a whole lot of his reviews, but I've definitely watched more of his informational. Hi, Brandon and Kia, what's up? And I've watched his informational videos. And the one that I came across, the first one I ever found of him was called the Real Enemy of Vaping. And he talked about, as he put it, the triangle of fuckery, right? Because you got the FDA, you got the anti-vaping groups like Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, and you got Big Pharma. And they all sort of work together against vaping. And I thought he did it really well, actually. Okay, I thought he did it really well and explained it really well. And so I was constantly referring people to that video for quite some time. Then, and I didn't even know what his last name was at the time, so I found out what his last name was, and I friended him on Facebook, and then I asked him the following auction, which was, I think, 2 auctions ago, I think, if he wouldn't mind donating some of his, products to the auction, which he was more than happy to do, and so I was, and I was thrilled that he did so, right? So when we got to it was the first day, if I'm not mistaken. It was Matt. Matt was there, and Alex Clark, the president of CASA, and they were chatting. And but before that, they had been out in the lobby, and David had been out in the lobby. This is so awesome too. Talk about an ego boost, guys. So David met Matt, and Matt looked at his name tag, right? We have our lanyards, right, with our names on it, and he saw Higginbotham, and he went, "Oh, are you Jen's husband?" And David was like, "Oh, well, yeah, yes, I am. I know she really wants to meet you." And then shortly right after that, David met Lindsay Stroud, who's also huge advocate, and she had interviewed me for one of her radio podcasts. And so David met Lindsay, and she goes, "Oh, are you Jen's husband?" So David comes back into the presentations or the seminars, right? And he goes, "If one more person asks me if I'm Jen's husband," and then he tells me that he met Matt, and I'm like, "Ooh," I said, "I'm fangirling all over that." And he's like, "Well, he's fanboying all over you too. You need to go meet him." So after it was over with, we saw that Matt and Alex Clark were talking, and so it was me and David and Lisa Gano and a couple other people were sort of hanging back, trying to see if we could, because we wanted to talk to Alex too. They did. Lisa wanted to talk to Alex. I wanted to talk to Matt. So we were waiting for them to sort of finish their conversation. And I know, right? I'd be vape famous, right? I know, right? He's just Jen's husband now. So, which by the way, Matt Cully, very tall. Very, very tall. I think we didn't. We should have done a fan dance actually, but very yes, super tall dude. Like he's 6'4" if he's a foot. I mean, he's very, very tall. Much taller than I anticipated him being just watching his videos. So yeah, super tall. I like tall. So I got to hug Matt, and that was awesome. But then they started talking. While I was talking to Matt, they were talking to Alex Clark, and I get the impression that Alex is not a. I mean, he can get up and he can talk in front of a room full of people, but he's not really like a super social guy. So he was kind of being a little mousy and not really sure. Like, are you going to the cocktail party? Okay, let's go together, kind of thing, And so we're like, yeah, sure, let's share an Uber. So there was like 6 of us, and we all shared an Uber. Alex Clark and the rest of the Georgia crew. Not all of the Georgia crew, most of the Georgia crew. Shared an Uber over to the Americans for Tax Reform cocktail party, and David was. David, he keeps having me tell this story too, because later that night, okay, so we get home, it's super late. Or was this the next night? This was Tuesday night this happened actually. So I was on Facebook and I was and somebody on the We Are CASA group, which I don't know if is actually run by CASA. I think that might be like a user-based group. Although I have seen Alex post in there, so maybe it is a CASA group. I don't know. Anyway, somebody claimed that there were 42 million vapors in the United States, and I was like, I don't think it's quite that much, I said, she probably got her facts mixed up, because we find out that there are 42 million vapors in India, which that's a whole another topic. But I said, I think there's more like 10 to 13 million, and I think only about 3 million of them are exclusive users. The rest of them are dual using. And she's all like, well, where did you get your information? I Googled mine. Well, I got my information from the VTA conference in DC that I'm currently attending, with Tony Abood and Greg Connolly and Alex Clark, the president of CASA, who I shared an Uber with after to the cocktail party on Monday night, And she's all like, well, I've been doing my own research and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, look. Finally, and it was late too, and I had to get up early. Because we were doing the lobbying thing on Capitol Hill the next day, and I was like, look, you believe me? I was like, look, I've just spent a day and a half listening to experts, and she even asked, she said, well, what experts? I'm like, I just spent a day and a half listening to experts. I'm about to spend all day tomorrow walking around Capitol Hill and lobbying for your right to vape. I'm like, you can believe me, you cannot believe me. I don't really care at this point. I am too tired to argue with anybody. So, yeah, there was about 42 million vapors in India. You heard the 42 million was wrong? Well, you could go by... You can go by statistics, right? Statistics, if there are, say, we keep saying 13 million. I'm not sure exactly where that number came from. But if there's 13 million, there's like 330 million people in, let's see, 330 million, about 330 million people in the United States. Let's say 13 million of them are vapors. And that comes out to about 4%. Okay, so 4% of the population are vapors. So you're going to go with a billion. What is 4% of a billion? And that actually does come out to 40 million. So statistics, it may actually be pretty true, but I don't know. It was a video that Vic did. I thought he was did he admit he got the India statistics wrong? Okay. But, just by sheer volume of people, right, it would stand to reason that there are quite a few vapors, were quite a few vapors in India, which, by the way, apparently India invoked that that ban based on the attitude of the United States. So, way to go. Yeah, anyway, 1 in 20 US adults vape. Well, that comes out to 5%, which is just a little bit over what I just said, 4%. So, yeah, that works too. All right. Anyway, so my point is that yeah, this girl actually wanted to argue with me about how many people, because she Googled it. She Googled it because if it's on the internet, it must be true. So, how about I join the United Kingdom of States? Chunk, you do not understand. You do not even understand how much that is becoming more and more of an option. I mean, we haven't done anything to actually move in that direction, but I mean, they're just crazy. They're just crazy. Okay, so I do want to tell you, though, about the meetings that we had on the Hill, which was pretty cool. We did have one Democrat, which I was unable to attend, and I would have liked to have attended that because our team leader, who is a lobbyist, an actual, she's a paid lobbyist. Believe me, she was dressed it too. Oh my God. I was walking behind her, and I happened to notice the red soles of her shoes, her pumps, right? And I turned around, and there were like 3 guys walking behind me, and I go, I need a woman, right? So I hung back until I found me another woman, put my arm around her. I said, did you notice the shoes she is wearing? She's like, hell yeah, I did. Those are, for those of you not in the know, a pair of leather, well, I'm sure they're leather, but they were patent leather. A pair of high-heeled shoes that have a red sole is a patented trademark of Christian Louboutin. Now, Christian Louboutin shoes tend to go for about $1,200 a pair. Okay, that and between her Fendi bag and the Prada flip-flops she was wearing when she didn't want to wear her heels, I'm pretty sure her entire outfit cost more than my first car. But you need a bottle of gin. I'm okay. I'm okay. So yeah, I know, right? I mean, I know lobbyists make a shit ton of money, people. All right, so she is a DC lobbyist, and she was our group leader. I've met her before. She's really awesome. However, there was 2 meetings that were scheduled simultaneously, so we had to split up, sort of divide and conquer. Could I tell how far in hock she was by looking at her? No, girl was not in hock at all. Okay. So she seemed to like me. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna trust you, because she wanted to be at our meeting specifically because our meeting was the only meeting that the actual member of Congress agreed to take personally. Normally, when you go to these things, guys, if you ever go to your local representative's office, which there is one within, a rather short driving distance of you, okay? You go to your representative's office, you will never meet with the man or woman, as it may be, okay? You will always meet with their staffers, okay? And even if you go to their offices in DC, rarely will you ever meet with the man, okay? You'll meet with their staffers. Now, don't take that as a blow off, okay? My guy is a lame duck. You are absolutely correct. He is a lame duck, which kind of makes him a little reckless, I think. I think that could make him a little reckless, but we'll get into that in a minute. Anyways, like I said, don't take it as an insult that you meet with the staffers, because face it, the staffers are usually the ones to write the legislation, all right? They're the ones you need to get on your side. They're the ones you need to educate, okay? They're going to take that information to the congressman and discuss it with him, but you get them on your side, and you have a shot, okay? This is true. I did see Scuba wearing the blue one. I haven't seen the other one yet. I think, was it the orange and brown one? I don't remember. So he could be also non-committal, but I'll tell you what, dire thing. Okay, so Ashley was all like, okay, she goes, I really feel like I need to be here with this group because they're meeting with a Democrat. She says, but I really wanted to be there for the members meeting as well. She goes, but you know what? She goes, I think you got this. I know you've done it before. She goes, I'm going to trust you to handle the members meeting. And I was like, I got you, girl. I got you. So, and yes, you are correct. He is a lame duck. He is not up for re-election. He has chosen to retire after next year. So he is not worried about being reelected. So I think that might make him a little willing to shake things up. I could be wrong. Now, I will admit to you, I have met him once before. And Spanky Wacky Vapes. I like that. How you doing? Hi, Ivy. How you doing, sweetheart? So I've met him before. He did show up at our meeting last year. And I will admit, I felt a little patronized. Non-committal, as Dyer Thing put it, but a little patronized. I kind of felt he was doing the politician thing. You know, he was being very likable, being understanding, that kind of thing, but not really saying anything, not really promising anything, you know. It's like, all right, that's fine. Now, David didn't feel that way, but I did. I absolutely felt that way. I did not feel that way last week. He sat down with us. He kept us for over 45 minutes. Now, that is almost unheard of when you're talking to a congressman. I mean, they're very busy. They have meetings lined up back to back. They're in session. They're, you know, writing bills. Well, they don't write them, but they sign them. They go over them. All that. They're very, very busy people. So the fact that he sat down with us, and he not only sat down with us and listened to us, he asked a lot of questions. Okay? He asked a lot of questions. He wanted to know. And we were able to give him facts and figures. We were able to answer every single one of his concerns. We were able to tell him exactly what we were in there for and why. And he thanked us. He said, you know, most of the time people come in here and tell me things I already know. He goes, I didn't know this. So thank you for educating me. And we left him with some information. And he, at one point, like we were telling him about how the, hi Tamar Poodles. About how the FDA and the CDC are saying they weren't saying opposite things, but they were saying very, very different things, right? They were saying, like, obviously we know the FDA was saying, yes, it's tainted THC cartridges, you need to stay away from them. And the CDC is all like, no, just stop vaping, right? Which is stupid. All right. And when we told him that, he looked at his assistant and he said, get me a meeting with the CDC. I need to hear their reasoning for this. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Whether or not that meeting has happened yet, I don't know. I would like to do a follow-up. I'm not sure exactly how to go about doing that, but I would like to do a follow-up and find out if he's had that meeting yet. I probably won't be able to hear like the results of that meeting, but although the CDC has now come out and admitted that it's the tainted THC cartridges, so maybe that meeting happened, and maybe my congressman was like, get your act together, bitches. All right, so another thing that he said, I probably shouldn't even tell you this, actually. But another thing that he said was, because we were talking about how, you know, the kids are not attracted to flavors, they're attracted to these high levels of nicotine, right? The benzoic acid and these high levels of nicotine make it smoother, make it absorb faster, and the kids get a buzz from it, right? And that's what they like. And it is not this that needs to be banned. It's this, you know, we were trying, you know, we were reasoning with him, right? At one point he goes, so, he said, so if Juul, let's just say we were to put Juul out of business tomorrow, you wouldn't be upset about that? And we all went, no, I think we'd throw a party. And he was all like, okay, that's what I needed to know. So he got it. Okay, that was it. I did not feel patronized, and he got it. All right, and I was very, very pleased about that, okay? You are absolutely right, Phil. The CDC dragged their feet on this. More people got sick. More people died. And I've said it before. The blood of those people are absolutely on the CDC's hands. They have failed the general public on this. And it's I don't have anything more to say on that. I mean, it's disgusting, and you've got you've got people. I cannot begin to tell you. I know that the vape shops out there. I know Brendan and Kia are watching. I know the vape shops out there have been trying to put people's fears to rest for weeks now, possibly even months, because of all of this, right? And it wasn't happening to me. Kia contacted me about a month or two ago, and she was like, "Oh my gosh," she goes, "Are you having to deal with as many people as I am trying to waylay their fears?" Yes, the CEO of Juul did resign, and guess who took his place? Oh, somebody from Altria. Imagine that. So, yes, they have known since March, and get me started, Dolores. So, they've been, but so the vape shops have been dealing with this for months now, and I'll say um, my customers. I don't know, maybe because most of my customers come from the online community, and I think that we're, as I put it the other day, I think it's a very tight-knit community, and I think that we're more informed, I think, than the general public. Not that the general public is stupid, just that the online community is so incredibly quick to find the evidence, the articles, the studies, and share them out there and make sure that the online community sees it as soon as possible. So I said, by no means am I saying the general public is stupid. I'm just saying that I think we're more well informed because we do have the tenacious people in the community that will share the evidence out as soon as possible and make sure that everybody sees it. And so I wasn't really getting that. Like, I wasn't getting calls and emails and messages asking, about whether or not, my product was going to make them sick or was going to kill them or anything like that. I wasn't getting any of that until this week. I wasn't getting any calls about fear of my product. I was getting calls about fear of the vape being taken away. And it made me cry every single time. I had calls, I had emails, I had messages, I was tagged on Facebook. It was almost impossible to continue the day-to-day production of my company and catch up on a week's worth of orders and a sale. It took me, I'm going to tell you guys, I was very embarrassed that it took me until yesterday to finally get caught up. And it was simply because, and it doesn't usually take me that long. Okay, usually I'm caught up in 2 to 3 days. I was buried over here and I was just unable to focus. I couldn't focus in the lab. I was making stupid mistakes. I was having to, and it was just because my mind was just so fried, right? Every person that shops here has asked what they are going to do when it's banned. Really? You know what, dude? You please go away. So, anyway, I gave her your page, Jen, after I convinced her she wasn't going to die from vaping. Thank you for that. So, yes, and I agree with that. Juul did cause this problem. And it's so, I mean, it's so obvious, Grim Green. Yep, Grim Green he's in what is in West. Where's he at? Wisconsin. It's just anyway. So here I am. I'm trying to waylay these fears. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to let them know, that if DIY is a problem, or if DIY, the DIY is a very easy thing to do. We have unflavored Higgy juice, I should say. We have unflavored Higgy juice. We have concentrates, okay? They're very easy to put together. You can get your pre-mixed, your nicotine level, your PG-VG ratio, whatever it is, right? And then you can get your concentrates, and you know what? I'm probably gonna put up a chart on the website so that you can kind of see, this is 10%, this is 15%, this is 20%, so you have like an idea. All you have to do is put this much in and fill it up with the base, right? And you can still make your e-liquid. Because we have so many states. I mean, ever since I got home, I'm just watching them fall like dominoes. I feel like there were like we're in a shooting range. All the states are popped up in a shooting range, and here's just the boing, 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 right? Like, what is that? What is going on? This is I'm so embarrassed about my country right now. I can't even begin to. I can't. I just can't. I can't even. You know, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm watching, New York and Michigan and Ohio and Virginia and Washington, I think Oregon and Massachusetts. Oh, Massachusetts, what the ever loving fuck? Oh, so if you had told us we can't say vaping is less harmful way, do you think more people would be involved in vaping? I don't know, Sue. That's a good question because I don't know anybody who stopped saying that. I mean, yeah, we don't have it on our labels and we don't have it on our website and we don't have like big banners or advertisements anywhere that say, hey, 95% less harmful. But I don't really know anybody who stopped saying it. Like, everybody still says it. They could tell me I'm not allowed to say it, but that's not going to stop me from saying it, because I will. Did everyone want to watch the comm meeting where Arkabaugh spoke eloquently and not want to interrupt from that comm? If not, I will post the link they listened. Well, I mean, that's good to hear that. I was very, very pleased to see Alabama, Michelle Hughes' state, is actually taking a stand. Well, Arizona took a stand. Their governor said, whoa, there's something not right here, right? And then Alabama has apparently 16 cases of this mysterious, they keep calling it a mysterious lung illness. It's not mysterious, I know exactly what it is. But they're holding the information from the CDC. They're not giving the information up. They're saying, you know what? You need to get your shit together before I turn over this information. And I think that's pretty admirable. And I think, isn't Florida? Florida's on the chopping block now, which is a little too close to home, I have to admit. And we just, yeah, PA governor. I know you're not a nanny state there in Arizona. I thought the rest of the country was too, but I was mistaken. I'm scared. I'm really scared. I don't think that I don't want to say I don't think. I know at this point it has not crossed the governor's radar. But we did end up having a death in Georgia. Happened just yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday. So it might be crossing the governor's radar really soon. We are trying to get ahead of it. So to make sure that that the governor is informed. I can't have the governor in my state do this. I just can't. In the meantime, if you are concerned about getting your vaping products, okay, we have both unflavored e-liquid and concentrates, okay? All right? Yeah, I know that too, Yardbird. The deaths that happened in Georgia, I don't remember if it was Blairsville or not, but the details are super sketchy. They aren't releasing jack shit about this one. All we know is that it is a person. They won't even release a gender. It was an older person who was known to have a history of heavy nicotine vaping and no THC usage. However, apparently they did have respiratory problems. So whether or not it's truly a vaping related death, the details are super, super sketchy. There's some of us behind the scenes doing things to stop this nonsense. You know, you heard it was a woman. I don't know. They didn't release the gender. They just kept saying the victim, and the victim's family said blah 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 kind of thing. And yeah, no, F State. Everybody needs to be doing stuff behind the scenes. You have got to make your voices heard. I mean, look, I know money's tight. I know that it's hard to join state associations, but they need it now more than ever. Okay, you've got to join your state associations. You've got to contact your representatives. I mean, this is do or die right now because we are under fire. I mean, and when I say under, I don't mean like it might happen or it might not. It is just a matter of when at this point. And it's scary as fuck, man. Big donors involved. I like to hear that. I don't know that, Tetley man. I think that it might be one of those skewed things. Okay, like I think Eva was telling me once when we were talking. She said, you know, the whole. Let me preface this by saying I don't believe that secondhand smoke is harmless. Okay, I think that if you're breathing in secondhand smoke from a smoker, I still think there's toxicity to that. But that the idea of the secondhand smoke and the conditions and diseases that can be acquired, or is acquired, it's not the right word, developed, I guess, from secondhand smoke, that whole epidemic has been largely overblown. They talk about secondhand smoke and the victims of secondhand smoke when they put things down like a person could die in a car crash, but if their spouse was a smoker, that's listed as a secondhand smoke death. So, I mean, it could be something like that. It could be like, oh, this person actually died of, you know, this particular respiratory condition, but they also happen to be a vapor, so it must be a vaping death. I mean, that's stupid. All right. Right. You can't really do a study on secondhand smoke. What are you supposed to do? Put people in a room, a bunch of smoke, and see how long it takes them to die? Like, it doesn't work that way. This is true, Tiger. If you are breathing in firsthand smog or car exhaust, you will die from it. So, yeah, and I know that, CJ. I know that. Oh wait, what point is it okay to second guess our reps? At every point. This is way out of hand. It has been for a long time. We're sitting here discussing what to believe, what not to. No, it's absolutely. Hi, Prim. It's absolutely imperative to question them at every step. Okay, this is why we elected them. And if they're not doing what you like, then you need to unelect them. Okay. You haven't been on here in over 1.5 years. Big donors now involved. Nice. I like to hear that. That's awesome. So, I did hear or I read a statement that Aspire put out today, and I did hear that Smock. I heard that. Maybe F State can't comment on it, but Smock did. I think Smock joined VTA, if I'm not mistaken. Smock is now a platinum board, or not board member, but a platinum member of VTA. I think. I could be wrong. I thought that was fantastic, though, when I heard that, because it was like, good. Some of these Chinese companies are waking up and realizing that they're not going to have any customers left if these bans go through, right? Was it FIG? Yeah. Okay. And I saw a statement from Aspire today, actually, that was quite eloquently put. So Aspire seems to be throwing their hat in the ring, too. Wismec did. That's nice. Smock donated $1 million to VTA. Yeah, there you go. I said I know that I heard that recently. I guess it was probably at the conference last week that I heard that. So yeah, I'm glad to hear Aspire sounded Google Translate pissed. Yes. I was funny actually because David was reading it to me and it sounded so elegant and I was like, wow, that's kind of impressive. I was like, and there wasn't any broken English in there and he goes, actually there was. I just improvised as I was reading it to you. So I haven't physically seen the statement, but I was read it this morning by David, which was of course the best way to hear it because, David voice, hello. Anyway, um, So anyway, the day on the hill was really good. I wasn't able to attend all of the meetings, mainly because of the scheduling conflicts. But I was able to attend four of them, I think. Yeah, four of them, and there were like 8 meetings that were scheduled. So I was there for half of them. It turned out the one Democrat, which I would have kind of liked to gone to. Um, it was the staffer who was there, and she was like had some sort of medical background and was totally pro vaping. So it wasn't nearly the combative meeting that we would have thought that it would have been. So that was pretty cool. Um, Hello, Gen Chat, all the survivors of vitamin E acetate and other chemically treated substance users. How you doing, Unicron? Aries does still come in here. He hasn't been around a whole lot. I do keep in touch with him. I talked to him just a few nights ago, actually. What was it? I was here. I had a problem with something, and I called him up, and we ended up on the phone for like 2.5 hours. And I looked at the call. I was like, oh shit, it's after midnight. I really gotta go. P.S. Conspiracy theorist statement. What you talking about? Glad you're talking meetings. Tell David when I ask how was the DC trip, I mean other than dinner. Yes, I did skip over that part. The one of the main highlights of our trip was that the first night we got there Sunday actually, and we had a lovely dinner with RS and his lovely wife Joyce. We went to a sushi hibachi place. They all had hibachi. I had sushi. Okay, so it was all good. But they had and there was a Maryland roll which had some Old Bay seasoning on it. It was pretty tasty. There was another one I got too that was a little too spicy for me. I couldn't eat it, but it was so good. And they had it was just in the hibachi, they cook on the grill in front of you, and they make the volcano, and they do the flipping the shrimp in the air and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. And it was just like 2 blocks from my hotel, so we were able. RS was able to come there, and we were able to just walk over to the restaurant, which was kind of nice. Joyce was very talkative. She's not always that talkative whenever I see her, so she was super talkative that night, and that was fun. And she said she had a good time and got lots of hugs from her, which was cool. Oh, and I did get to see RS a second time because he left some of his stuff there at our hotel room, so he had to come back the next night and get it again. So that was fun. State elections are before federal. Show the state politicians how you vote. I agree. Actually, I agree. When we left Wednesday and we headed on down to. Okay, bye, Ricky. Thank you for hanging out. We left and headed on down to the Hampton/Newport News area. Yes, F-State is correct. You should absolutely keep calling the White House at least daily, if not more. Let them know your feelings. I did see somebody on Facebook post that one of the operators told them that they should contact the head of the RNC as well and tell them their feelings, because you know what, we need to make sure these people know, we are not a small force, right? We are not this teeny tiny percentage of people. We are a lot of people. We are an army, and we are pissed. Okay? Again, just feeling so hopeless this week. So hopeless. Gresham Whitmore sealed her fate for 2020. One of the largest manufacturers and distributors is here since 2013. Man, he stands to lose millions in stock. People vape here. Yeah, you're right. And honestly, I think that this is, and I think Greg says it right. People keep asking, because he keeps saying that the number of vapors per state far outweigh the margins in which he won that state. The Trump won that state in 2016. If you take their vapes away, people are going to, and how Greg put it, they're going to stay home. People keep saying, oh, so you think people who may have voted for Trump in 2020 would now vote Democrat or not 2020, people who voted for Trump in 2016 or who would vote for Trump in 2020 would now vote Democrat. He says, no, I don't think that. I think that they're just going to stay home. And that is just as much of a death sentence, I think, as voting Democrat. I mean, I hate to say that, Dolores, but I think you might be right. Danielle Jones had a good graphic for that. I have it, I think, the one where it shows the amount of vapors versus the amount of votes that he won the state by. And it's overwhelming, especially Florida. He won Florida by like 15,000 votes or 50,000 votes or something like that. But there's like 900,000 vapors in Florida. Okay. Even if only half of them stayed home instead of voting at all, Florida becomes a swing state. Georgia becomes a swing state. Georgia hasn't been a swing state in a long time. If you stay home and renege on your democratic right to vote, you may lose your right to vape at all in the U.S. But what choice do we have, Dolores? What choice do we have, right? We just do. You vote Libertarian, everybody who votes Libertarian knows they're throwing their vote away. Okay. All the Libertarian does is tends to break up the Republican and or Democratic Party, right? Sometimes, generally, depending on the climate, it's one more than the other. I think last election, I think it broke up the Democratic Party. I think this election is going to break up the Republican Party. No question. Wish you could stand on a date and time as a community, and 6 million should show up at point A, B, or C. I can find 300 to fly. Tamar, I know there have been a lot of demonstrations, especially going on at state capitals. The problem is that we all have jobs, we all have bills to pay. It's hard to organize something like that. It really is. It depends on how much of a communist the DNC makes it easy now. And you know what? You shouldn't be a single issue voter. I agree with that, Unicron. But when it comes to my livelihood, I'm probably a single issue voter. I hate to admit that, but I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not alone in this. He can blame his wife. How much you want to bet? Seriously, people, how much you want to bet Melania caught Barron puffing on a jewel in the bathroom at the White House? Damn it. I do have more at stake than you. And as I said before, okay, look, DIY will. We have some other things in the works. We need some more development time, but we're gonna make this easy on you guys, okay? We're gonna make this easy on you guys. I'm 70, work full time, live on a shoestring, and I will go. Y'all think that Melania caught Barron in the bathroom? He probably has his own private bathroom, right? She went in there. He's puffing on a jewel. She walked in there and said, "Why does it smell like mangoes in here?" Not with a southern accent, though, with her, Hungarian accent. Yeah, I mean, the wrong people are definitely talking to him. And, ooh, Trench's Body Lube. There's a name. Shit. Oh, there's no. It's not a rumor dire thing. That was just a how much you want to bet that's what happened kind of thing. Like, it was speculation. It wasn't even a rumor. It was more of a joke, really. But look, I don't mean to laugh. Okay, I don't mean to laugh. What is happening is tragic. Okay, people are dying, and it's awful. But it's not. Oh, I don't even know if we're gonna get into the lab because I got so much to talk about. And if I do get into the lab, I want to show you guys how easy it is to make e-liquid using the products that we already offer you, okay? I want to just take an amount of a concentrate we already have and then the base mix that we already have and be like, boom, 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 here you go. There's your bottle, it's ready to go. Like that is the best thing that I think that I could show you guys tonight is that we already offer these products as is, okay? And you can mix them together so quick. So if I do go into the lab, I think that it was going around the first 36 hours after the fact. You would like to see that? Okay. That would be, well, it would be like a 3-minute session, guys. I'm telling you, it would not take any time at all. You guys can, if you're not DIYers and you're afraid to DIY, you can do this. I promise you, you can do this. All right. The only thing that you can't buy from us right now, and that may be changing soon, is extra bottles. You'll need extra bottles. All right. But there's 2 ways to do this, and you would love to record that so you don't have to video. Okay. There's 2 ways to do it, and I could go over both ways to do it. Whichever way you do it, you just want to make sure that you always do it the same way so it always comes out the same way, okay? Basically, I'm talking volume versus weight. We do offer both ways to do it. Like we offer bottles that have a press-in adapter so you can use volume using the syringes that we offer, or you can get the needle tips, which would be you could use it by weight. What is happening is everything is so jacked up and the people, we can no longer expect that things will be rightly done with the integrity of the past in our government. Yeah, no, Casey Lynn, we sell, like I said, you buy it pre-mixed, however you like it, okay? Yeah, I do have bottles. I haven't taken the time to really kind of piece out how much they cost versus how much we could sell them for, and or how much other people are selling them for, when to be competitive. But that is certainly something that we need to consider doing very soon, because yeah, we need to do that. You guys need the tools. You guys need the tools to be able to make your own e-liquid. So yeah, you would not need to worry about too much exposure to nicotine. The stuff you would be buying from us would be already pre-mixed to your level. Like it'd be like 3 milligram, 2575. Okay. So yeah, I can go in the lab and I can do that. That I will do. It won't take long. It'll be the shortest lab ever. And then I can come back here to my desk and I can show you guys how to do it by weight. Because I'm telling, and seriously, you get it down, I'm telling you, you could make a bottle of e-liquid in about 30 seconds. It will not take you long. All right. So we get back, so we went down, we left DC, we went down to the Newport News / Hampton Beach area. We stayed right on the marina, which was kind of fun. We did, so we got to look out over all the boats. There were big boats and little boats and sailboats and motorboats and yachts, full-blown freaking yachts. It was awesome. And my friend Shannon. Now, see, there's gonna be Shannon. There's gonna be my Shannon. Shannon is Munchkin. My Shannon is my friend Shannon. So we have 2 Shannons to deal with. My friend Shannon, that I've known since freshman year of high school, lives there. And so it was so fun to see her. All right. And then the first night that we were there, well, not the first night, we got there Wednesday night. It was super late though. We were just so exhausted. Um, and so we went straight to bed basically. And I was gonna see my Shannon actually. I contacted her and she's like, yeah, come on over. And then I'm like, I don't know. She's like, yeah, it is kind of late. I was like, yeah. I was like, we're really beat. And she's like, you know what? Just get a good night's sleep. We'll hook up tomorrow. It's like, great. So we went over to her place the next day. Actually, I went without David. David had gone out walking around. I slept. Actually, I take it. Was it? Yeah, we got up early enough to have breakfast. Came back. I took a nap. David did some running around. He came back. He decided he wanted to take a nap. I said, okay, fine. I said, I'm gonna go see Shannon, my Shannon, right? So, nice, RS. So, I went over there. I spent several hours with her before David woke back up, and then he Ubered on over there, and we got to hang out. And then we got to meet up with Munchkin and Scuba, which was so much fun. We got to see them at the Captain George's. Captain George's. It's this all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, and oh my God, did we stuff ourselves silly? There was so much good food there. I mean, there was just so much there. I didn't even get to try half of what I wanted to try because there was so much there and I was so stuffed. But it's a seafood, all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. And it was so nice. And my Shannon didn't want to go. She's all like, oh, they're not going to want to hang out with me and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, shut the fuck up and just get your damn coat on and let's go. And she did, and she totally was glad that I brought her, that I made her come because obviously Scuba and Munchkin were very gracious and included her in the conversations and didn't make her feel left out or anything. And so yeah, it was a good time, had by all. Oh, you had to do it. You had to do it.
Peanut Butter Buster is mine, bitch. Key lime ice cream is mine. What the? Who's that bitch now?
Okay, so you guys are talking about how to clean the bottles if you save my bottles, which I think is awesome that you do. Yeah, soak them in vodka or pure grain alcohol. That seems to help too. The reason why you may not be able to get a smell out of a bottle is because those bottles are somewhat porous. They're not porous enough to allow the liquid to get out, but they are porous enough to let air in. Very small amounts of air, but they do have some breathability to them. It's one of the reasons we shrink wrap them, and it's also, but it's what helps make them so squishy, which is what we like. So, like you did 10 years ago, you can make another donation. I know, it feels like that, right? It was 10 years ago. About 10 years ago, I think. No, more than 10 years ago. You're going to bring that up. I knew you would. But, you know, the other thing, too, is you could kind of make sure that you remember what was in a bottle and put similar flavors in there. You know, like fruit can kind of go with fruits and, you know, desserts can kind of go with desserts, you know, and probably not affect it as much either. So. There you go. So, and I even want to point this out. Look, I have had this. I finally got the red Zeus X to put on my Eclipse. I have had this since my birthday. It actually showed up on my birthday, which was a full 2.5 weeks ago, and I still have not even had the time to coil this thing yet. This is still dry, no coils, no juice, no cotton, nothing. I took it with me to DC because I thought that I might have time to do it there, and I was wrong. Um, so look, it's still dry. So that was something else I was going to try to do tonight, so I can get back to using my Precious Eclipse with the beautiful red Zeus X on it. And I put just the tip right there. Hint, hint. Kia, I'm gonna need me a red and black drip tip. Just saying, it's gotta go here. Red and black 810, 810 Ming, right there. See, just saying, if you're still watching. No, I'm gonna totally order one. It's all good. There's a pattern on the website actually that I think would go really good with this, so I'm gonna order that soon. But yeah, 810. I love this 810 Ming. Oh, this is the 810 Ming, and I love the way this fits on the Zeus X. Love it, love it, love it. But I need something that's red and black to go with this. 810 Ming. Now this is a 510. It's got the 510 adapter in here. P.S. If you order off of Wish, you don't get the 510 adapter. It's not quite a complete Zeus X setup that you would get if you got it directly from Geek Vape or Element Vape or wherever. So I had to use one of my own 510 adapters to make this fit. But I need a red and black 810 Ming like this in these colors. That's what I need. I took Peach's suggestion to her mesh coils and the Prince tanks I have, and they work wonders. Yes, awesome. So, yeah, Dire Thing is right. Black box clove only goes with clove. I don't think there's anything you could do to get that smell out of that plastic. Not happening. All right. So, what else was I saying? Oh yeah, so we spent a couple of days there. We ended up spending an extra day there. We were gonna go home Friday, and I wanted to, but Shannon talked us in. My Shannon ended up talking us into another day because they always have what they call Friday instead of Friday. They have like a basically get together and hang out and party Friday night. So that was fun. So we stayed another night, and then we left Saturday, and I came home. Got home kind of late. I think it was around 10 o'clock. A little bit longer drive than I thought it was for Virginia. I thought it was more like 6 or 7. It's actually more like 8.5, but whatever. Your Rainbow Prince was not a waste of money after all. Yay! Love to hear that. So, and then yeah, so we get home, and what did end up happening actually. Oh, I'm getting text messages. What's happening? Oh, she's sending me pictures. Oh, it's the one on the left or the one on the right that looks just like the. I gotta have it. She's sending me pictures. Let me see if you guys think the same thing. I'm gonna show you. She's sending me pictures. All right. Oh, wait. Where's my XSplit? Okay, let's see here. Add smart selection. I gotta have it because it looks just like. Okay, here we go. This one, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I love it so much. Right there, that one right there. I love it, love it, love it. Hi, JB Lynch. How you doing? Prime Video? Oh no, I don't. Haven't. You know what? I have not even watched that much TV. Oh my God, I have. Oh, so, okay. Send me. Okay, look. You're gonna have to let me. Oh, she sent me another one. Oh, she sent me another one. Damn it, y'all. All right, let's see what y'all think of this one. Tell me if you like this one better than the other one. I don't. I like the first one. What do you think of this one? I still like the fully red one. How do you change your name on chat? I don't remember. There's a way to do it, though. I don't remember. Probably somewhere in your settings, I would imagine. Yeah, the first one. Yeah, so. Okay, there you go. Look, you're not going to send it to me for free, okay? I'm going to give you store credit or something, or send you money. Don't send it to me for free. Just don't do it. Okay, I'm very willing to pay for my drip tips. All right, so, yeah, I really like that first one. Oh, that would look so good. That would look so good. Yes! Okay, it just shows the big arrow when I try to watch something. Don't know if it was me or not. I haven't had that much time. I did finally have some time, like, over the last 2 days to finally, like, I haven't even turned on the TV. We didn't even turn on the TV the whole time we were gone. I mean, like, it's just been so crazy. And watching this, it's like I can't even, like, my eyes are just glued to the internet because of all of the news that keeps coming out. Like, what the fuck happened in Massachusetts? That pic doesn't do the last one justice. It's a really pearly white, and don't tell me what to do. I don't want white, though. This is red and black. I need red and black. There's no white in this. It's all red and black. So white would just throw the whole balance off. So, but that first red one, oh my God. Yes, 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 yes. In any case, that, just glued, I mean, from what, I heard Jazzy say, I mean, that they did, like, actual, like, Nazi Germany style raids. Armed police officers raiding vape shops and shutting them down. What the hell? Yeah, I saw there's black in there. I get it. I've seen that pattern before, and it is very beautiful. I just don't think it would go with my mod. But my point is that, I mean, like, what country do I live in where people with the police are raiding legitimate businesses and shutting them down like that? Like, I can't even wrap my brain around it. Like, actual Nazi Germany style raids on legitimate innocent people. What? I can't even. They've done that before with food scares. I just can't even, though. And all with the swipe of a governor's pen. Like, really. And then I watched Washington. Swipe of a governor's pen. Flavor ban. I know that Virginia and, was it Virginia? Well, no, Alabama is holding off. Ohio, Virginia, and is it Florida? No, not Florida. There's a couple more that are on the chopping block right now. But New York and Michigan have already fallen. They're at least giving people 2 weeks. But, like, it's just crazy. I know. They don't, Michelle. They don't have that much power. And that's the problem, is that they don't. Like, I got sent this. I think you got this too, Michelle. It's very difficult to read, probably by design. But this is a list of all of the gubernatorial executive orders, like what they have the power to do. I highlighted Georgia here, but there's a whole list of what they can and can't do. And then there's a key at the bottom here. It's very, very, it's hard to read. And like I said, probably by design. But it's like, they don't have the power to do that. They don't have the power to do that. And they're doing it in the name of public health, a public health emergency. Fuck off. Fuck off. I had to sit here and listen to the governor of Washington State, the governor of Washington State, unequivocally say that these products are not regulated and the FDA has no idea what goes in them. Fuck off. How many hundreds of man hours did I waste turning over my fucking recipes to the FDA? They know exactly what's in my product. I know, JB. It is all about the money. And you guys, has anybody in here not seen my video about the real reason for the war on vaping? It's all about that tax money, really. People say, oh, it's big tobacco. Oh, it's big pharma. I mean, and yes, big tobacco and big pharma have their little pinkies in the pie. I'm not saying that they don't. But when it comes down to it, the states are losing money. They are losing money that they were never supposed to grow used to. And they think that they're owed it. Okay, and the money that they're losing is the taxes that we all used to pay. All of us were sheep, right? We're all sheep. We all smoked. We all handed over money every damn day, right? Because, I mean, average person smokes a pack of cigarettes a day, right? I didn't. I smoked about half a pack a day, but still, right? And JB, I don't know that they're behind it. I think they're behind the epidemic, okay? I think they were holding Juul's hand the whole time. I think that they helped Juul get as big as they are. It's not, I think it's more than 2%, but still it's low. It's low. The states are so dependent on that money, and they were never supposed to be dependent on that money. All right. And now that the money's going away, they're like, ooh, we got to recoup that money somehow, right? And that's what they're doing. They're trying to get that money back, right? I read somewhere, and this is really disgusting, actually. I read somewhere that, okay, for example, U.S. representative. U.S. representative is elected for 2 years. If that representative was to mount a successful campaign, it would take, X number of millions of dollars to do so. All right. And in order to raise that kind of money, they have to campaign like something like over 70% of the time. So the job that you elected them to do, they are only going to have 30% of their time to dedicate to doing that job. The rest of that 70% of their time is going to be dedicated to fundraising in order to fund their next campaign. Does anybody else see something wrong with that picture? Anybody see that is wrong? Well, they're recouping the money by, well, that's just it though, RS. My point is that they can't, right? The tobacco industry, it was what, 1964, I believe, the United States U.S. Surgeon General said yes, and 2 years after the RCP, by the way, said yes, smoking is bad for you, it causes cancer, you need to stop smoking. Well, people weren't going to stop smoking, okay? They'd already hooked millions upon millions upon millions of people onto smoking, right? You're right, Dire Thing. I can get into that too. Hi, Detra. All right. So by the 70s, right, the government was all like, okay, look, people are still smoking. They're not backing off. They're still getting sick. They're still dying. All right, let's deter. Let's put in a deterrent. Let's tax it. Right? Did they tax it 500%? No. Because they knew the people wouldn't stand for it, right? There were millions and millions of smokers. Probably at the time, there were probably, I don't know, 50 million, 100 million smokers in the country, right? They knew that the smokers wouldn't stand for that, so they just taxed it a little bit, right? And every year, they raised the taxes. So it was easy to digest, right? They've been raising these taxes for 50 years. 50 years it's taken them to get to where they're now cigarettes are taxed with this like 500-600% tax, okay? Do you really think that Philip Morris or RJ Reynolds is getting $8 a pack of... No, they're getting like $1 on a pack of cigarettes, okay? The rest of that is all taxes. all of it. Okay, it goes to the state, it goes to the federal, it goes to, there's import, export, sin tax, sales tax. There's all kinds of extra taxes on it. Okay, and it's, but they've been doing this. They've been gradually just sucking the life out of you, sucking the money off of you now for 50 years. And now vaping comes along and starts, killing the cigarette industry, right? And so they're like, oh no, we need to just tax vaping where cigarettes left off. You can't do that, all right? Fact of the matter is the only way to recoup the kind of money that we're losing on cigarette taxes is we'd all have to triple our prices and they'd have to be taxed at like 500%. That's the only way to get it there. It's not going to happen any other way. They're going to have to get blood from a stone, and it's not going to happen. All right? I saw somebody post a receipt. They bought a pack of cigarettes in Las Vegas. I think it was a pack of Newports. Las Vegas. And this is not that long ago, like this year sometime. $17. $17 for a single pack of cigarettes. Do you really think that who does Newport? I think R.J. Reynolds does Newport. You think R.J. Reynolds is getting that $17? No! There are 500 people to make calls, knock on doors, so they have to spend less time and potentially not get caught by the wrong side. Yeah. Oh. You know what? I have a list of, because my representative isn't running the next year, I do have a list of the candidates, both the Republican and Democrat candidates, and I think we need to send out a survey to them, be like, what's your stance on vaping? When they eliminate vaping industries and vaping, what would they do if everyone does not smoke their cigarettes? You know what? I don't know, Stephen Taylor. And I would love for that to happen. I don't think that it will. I think that the nicotine addiction is, because like I said before, most of the vapors out there, we say there's 13 million vapors, and there may be 13 million vapors, but I think it's more like 3 million of exclusive vapors. The rest of them are all dual users. And so if you're talking 10 million people that use both, they've reduced their cigarette use down by vaping, but they haven't completely given them up yet. And I think that addiction is too strong. I think you take their vapes away from them and they're just going to go back to smoking cigarettes again. I really think the percentage of us that are strictly vapors and will never go back to smoking is actually rather small. So manufacturer cost on a pack was 35 cents a pack before MSA. It's only up to about $1. That's what I said. It's like $1. It's like $1.50, right, that RJ Reynolds is getting. And most of that gets sent right back out for the MSA agreement. So yeah, dire thing in Yardbird. Vic did a video on this as well, and I thought that he was really eloquent about it when he said it. The bonds, for those of you who don't know what the MSA agreement is this started back in 1996, I think. Mississippi was the first one. They said, gosh, we have all these rising health costs, we have all these deaths, and this is all because people smoke. And they sued Big Tobacco. They said, hey, we have all these rising health costs, and you're the reason why we want some money. And they won. It was the biggest court case ever. And then Florida popped up and said, wait a minute, we have a bunch of retirees here. They all smoke too. We have rising healthcare costs. We want to sue Big Tobacco too. And they did. And they won. And then Minnesota did it. And then Texas said, hey, we have cowboys here. They all smoke. We want to sue you too, right? So you got Texas, Minnesota, Florida, and Mississippi all sued Big Tobacco, and they won. Huge, like more money than anybody in this room could even possibly imagine. All right, billions of dollars. And so Big Tobacco popped up and said, hey, hold up. Before the other 46 of you do this, let's make a deal. And they did. They made a deal. They said, okay, based on our sales and your population, your state's population, we will pay you payments every single year to combat your healthcare costs and to provide for anti-smoking campaigns. And the states were like, okay, cool, But Texas and Florida and Minnesota and Mississippi got all their money up front, so we want all our money up front too. And Big Tobacco said, no, we just agreed to make payments. And they said, all right, fine. So they bought bonds on Wall Street, or they sold bonds on Wall Street with the idea they get all the money up front from the bond, and then they could use the tobacco money that came in every year to make payments to that bond. These bonds are 10-year bonds, okay? And this happened in 1998. So it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. Those bonds are maturing. They need to be paid back. They need to be paid back now. There may be some of them out there that are already late. I'm pretty sure that there are, okay? So the money's not coming in. They can't pay back the bonds. They could default. It could cause an economic crisis. It's very, very possible it could cause an economic crisis, all right? Oh God, Stephen Taylor, I know. I was in Virginia, all right? For those of you who, if you've never been through Virginia or North Carolina, even when you smoked, there's something that you would, if you lived on the East Coast and you're traveling and you smoked and you were driving through North Carolina or Virginia, you, depending on what brand you smoked, you would stop and buy cigarettes when you were in that state, right? If you smoked an R.J. Reynolds brand, you would stop in North Carolina. If you smoked a Philip Morris brand, you would stop in Virginia, because cigarettes are so cheap there, okay? They're cheaper because they don't have any export or import taxes on them. They have the sin tax, they have MSA tax, they have sales tax, they have all kinds of taxes on them, but they don't have import and export taxes on them because they never left the state. So you can get cigarettes there, you get cartons, and really cheap, right? Everybody I know that would travel through Virginia or North Carolina would stock up on cigarettes, right? Because they're so cheap. But how come we aren't seeing more injunctions and lawsuits slapped on all the bans? I think there's more out there than we know of. I know New York has it. I know Michigan has it. Washington just happened yesterday. Ohio and Virginia haven't actually happened yet, so you can't file a lawsuit against for an injunction of something that hasn't happened yet. I think they're out there. I think we may not. Like I said, Washington just happened yesterday, so there may not have been time to put one up for Washington yet. I think Oregon is going to fall next, and like I said, I know Oregon, Ohio, and Virginia are on the chopping block, but they haven't actually happened yet. I know the injunction actually got denied in New York, but I think there's another one out there. And I know that there's one filed in Michigan as well. So they're happening. They're happening. Don't think people are sitting back and taking it. So anyway, the point is that these bonds are maturing and they need to be paid back. And the states don't have it because people stopped smoking. Okay, and it's sickening. It's sickening. This is all about money, but it really is all about money. All right. For those of you, and if there, I know I've seen a couple of new names in the chat. I'm gonna put the link, or you know what? I could just show it. You know what? Let me just show it, because it's really quick. It's only 3 minutes long, and I know I said I was gonna get in the lab, and I will. I promise. I will. It's gonna be so quick though. You guys are gonna be amazed at how easy it is to do this. Oh, look, P. Basardo put out one, said you are being lied to. So that's what you got to do. You got to catch them with something. You got to nab them with something catchy. You're being lied to. All right, you're being lied to. All right, so we're going to watch my little video about the taxes real quick. It's only 3 minutes long. Let's see here. All right, let's do add source. Let's stop the music. All right, here we go. All right, so this give you an idea of why they're so frantically just going crazy. Oops. Yeah, there we go.
You've likely been hearing a lot of buzz about vaping and how several agencies, like the FDA, the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, Big Pharma, and even federal and local governments have been coming down on vaping hard. You may have even had your own friends show up on your social media feeds arguing fiercely about the harms and or benefits of vaping. But why all the controversy? According to Economist.com, in 2016, high-income countries like the United States collect an average of $5 worth of taxes on a single pack of cigarettes. In 2016, the World Health Organization estimated that there were 38 million smokers in the United States. If the average smoker smokes a pack a day, that means there were 38 million people willingly reaching into their own pockets every single day and handing over $5 of their hard-earned money in extra taxes. That comes out to a total of $64.8 billion per year. But what does this have to do with vapors? There are an estimated 10 million vapors in the United States today. If those 10 million people were still smoking, still handing over their $5 a day, that comes out to $18 billion per year that the government is no longer collecting. Make no mistake, they want it back. The Master Settlement Agreement ensures that the fewer cigarette sales there are, the less Big Tobacco has to pay to the states, taking even more money from them. There has been a very concentrated and organized campaign designed to recoup that money in any way possible. Vapor is a solution to the biggest killer in America. Cigarettes are currently killing somebody you love. Vaping is currently helping someone you love. The government only cares which one pays better. This message has been brought to you by Higgy Cigs.
Okay, Michelle. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Let me grab you the link and I'll put it right here. Okay. So that is one of the things that I show people, especially either uninformed vapors or non-vapors, actually. I show them that video and they're always like, wow. The other one I like to show them is the episode 1 of The Truth About Vaping, Why They Hate Us. And it really goes into depth about the MSA agreement, or the MSA, I should say. So it's, thank you, F-State. But that's just it. That's what we're talking about, okay? 10 million vapors equates to $18 billion a year in lost taxes. The vaping industry, which I just found out last week, is a $24.5 billion industry. Okay? Let that sink in for a second. The vaping industry is a $24.5 billion industry. Total, okay? That's total. That's including sales, that's including wages paid, taxes paid, like total gross amount of money that is pouring into our economy every year is $24.5 billion. But only 10 million vapors would cause an $18 billion loss in tax revenue. That means the vaping industry would literally have to double itself, nearly double itself, in order to, in taxes, just to equate to the $18 billion that they've lost. Do you see what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what they do. It won't be enough. I know Minnesota, it is volume. It's not net, but that's what I'm saying. There will be a new truth about vaping. Oh, thank you so much. That's awesome because I love those. But the episode 1, Why They Hate Us, is just fantastic. I show that to people all the time. I mean, I've seen that thing so many times that I know it by heart. I mean, episode 2 is great as well, and I think there's an episode 3 is also, but yeah, the episode 1 is just absolutely fantastic. And it's saddening that it's only got, like, I think 370,000 views, and it's been out for 4 years. Like, it should have millions of views. But the point is that, yeah, the vaping industry would have to double itself. And actually, you know what? At this point in time, okay, so $24.5 billion actually equates to about $5 billion in taxes, okay? $5 billion of that 24.5 goes towards taxes, okay? Whether it's income tax or sales tax or whatever, all right? So if $5 billion of that is currently going to taxes, that means the vaping industry would have to more than triple itself to be able to be funneling that much tax revenue to equate to the 18 billion that they've lost, okay? Triple. Or if it doesn't triple, you tax the ever-loving shit out of the products to equate. But see, they're trying to immediately impose taxes that they've literally taken 50 years to grow. This is almost 2020, people. Taxes on cigarettes started back before 1970. 50 years. 50 years it took them to get the taxes to this point. Now, anything else out there is unreasonably taxed, okay? Cigarettes are crazily taxed. So you have to, like I said, they're trying to put the same kind of tax overnight onto a product. I'm not saying this right. They're trying to put a tax overnight on the vaping industry that they have taken 50 years to build on the cigarette industry, right? And that is just wrong. It's just wrong. Yeah, JB, that's a whole different sort of topic. That's a whole different can of worms. But you're right. I'm not saying that pharma doesn't have their little pinky in this. They do. All right, they absolutely do. All right, they're not producing. Well, the products they produce don't work, and they know that they don't work. Right. But I think it goes even deeper than that. And this gets very conspiratorial. And I hate sounding like this because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? It just gets really hard to deny until you've been, until you just read it over and over and over again. And you're like, holy crap, there's got to be some truth to this. Okay. Some of the things, as vaping grows, smoking shrinks. I know, right? It would never be even. It would never work. But what I meant by tripling is I meant if you tripled the cost, not necessarily tripled the users, but tripled the cost, okay? So if you triple the cost and turn it from a $24.5 billion industry to a $75 billion industry, then the taxes will equate, but the users have to stay the same. That's what the point that I was getting at. So, yeah. But JB has a point, okay? These are things that I'm taking off my Higgy Sigs hat and I'm putting on I'm a private citizen hat, okay? These are things I'm not allowed to say as an industry stakeholder, okay? But I'm going to tell you this anyway because I have freedom of speech and I am still an American. There are things that they don't want you to know because I guarantee you they know this. They have to know this. All right? I have so many friends, so many people that I know who had asthma, had COPD, had emphysema, Some of you are in the audience right now, and you don't have it anymore. Those are not supposed to be curable conditions. I guarantee you pharma knows that. But curing your condition, it's not really good business. Treating your condition, something you have to keep paying for over and over, that's good business. Now that's conspiratorial, and I hate that. I hate sounding like this, the government's out to get you bullshit. But the more and more I know so many people who have asthma, their doctors are like, why are you asthmatic? Let me take that sticker off of your chart. Like look at that. Your COPD went from stage 3 to stage 1. How the hell did that happen? You know how it happened? You vaped. All right, so don't tell me this shit's going to hurt you, because I know it's not. I've seen it. Michelle Hughes, I wasn't going to call anybody out. I know that some of you, the ones I'm talking about, are in the audience, but I'm not going to call you out because that's not my place. Your medical conditions are yours, but Michelle's calling herself out, and I think that's awesome. Makes frogs gay? Maybe it does. I don't know. I know. Anecdotal. At what point does anecdotal become empirical? Is that the word, empirical? What point does anecdotal become empirical? Because when you have enough stories to tell, it's got to become empirical. It has to. $550,000 for double lung cancer care. 5 years later, after care, $1,500. Tamar, I mean, bravo, congratulations. But I'm telling you, like, and here, okay, what happened Sunday night? We have a very dear friend of ours who's been having trouble keeping food down. And since we were gone for a week, we hadn't really seen her, but apparently things got worse while we were gone, and she wasn't even able to keep any liquid down. She ended up we thought she was having reflux problems, but that turned out not to be it. She went to the hospital, and it's very serious, actually. She's got cancer. She has esophageal cancer, and it's strangling her esophagus. That's why she hasn't been able to keep any food down for like months. And she's just a skeleton right now. So David actually went out last Sunday night, and he stayed the night with her in the hospital. And we've been, kind of going back and forth. She's getting transferred to a closer hospital, thank God. But here's the thing. Michelle Hughes is not a he. I know who Michelle Hughes is. But thank you for that. I know what Speed's first name is. It's not Michelle. No, you're not a he. I know you very well, darling. Speed's first name is not Michelle. It is traditionally a girl's name, but it's not Michelle. You may know Michelle better as Vaping Crimson. That is her other alias, Vaping Crimson. She's also a very accomplished romance author. So, in any case, so yes, my friend is in the hospital. She has esophageal cancer, and it's strangling her esophagus, and which is why she hasn't been able to eat anything. And apparently it's gotten so bad now she can barely drink anything. She just throws it all right back up, and she's lost so much weight. She's so malnourished, and she's so weak. So we've been dealing with that on top of everything else this week. And it's just been really, really, really crazy. And so thank you, Michelle. Yes, Speed does have a gender-neutral name. His first name is traditionally a girl's name, but it can be used for both. I have known many male guys and girls with his first name. And I've known guys and girls with the first name Michelle as well, so I get where the confusion is. Um, so, the point that I was making though is that we are in a group chat with her sister-in-law, who has access to her apartment, and she's immediately all like, I'm gonna hide her. I'm gonna throw her vape away. She doesn't need that shit when she comes home from the hospital. Please don't throw her vape away. Please don't throw her vape away. That's what we just beg. Please don't throw her vape away. Okay? That is not her. It's not, I mean, that is her property. Okay? You cannot throw that away. All right? And I'm telling you that if you throw her vape away and she gets her hands on a cigarette, she'll probably smoke it. Okay? You know, but how do I tell this woman she doesn't need that? She's healing. She doesn't need that. She needs to get rid of it. I'm like, don't throw her vape away. Please don't throw her vape away. Pat and Jean. Now, Jean, as a boy's name, is usually Gene. A girl is Jean. Just saying. Pat works, but not Jean. Well, I mean, we bought her several replacements, and we give her some of ours as well. We've done that many times actually, because she keeps breaking them. I don't know if we keep giving her shit ones or if she just keeps breaking them or what, but she keeps breaking them. We've given her, oh gosh, she's had a bunch of them. She's had several. She had a Novo. She broke it. David gave her his Sorin drop. She broke it. No, we got her a Sorin drop. Actually, we gave her the one that you sent us, RS. We gave her a Sorin drop, and that broke. And then David gave her his, and it broke. No, I think it was the pod that was the problem there. But then we ended up giving her a Nord, and that's been working pretty good for her. That she hasn't broke that one yet. But she's so frail. And she shakes, and she has a hard time even just plugging it in to charge it because she's so weak. So, yeah, she's out in Athens right now, but they're transferring her to Gwinnett, which I'm very excited about because it's only about 20 minutes away, whereas Athens is about an hour away. And they're talking surgery, which is a very, very good sign. They're actually talking about removing part of her esophagus. So, and I guess stretching it and stitching it back together. I don't know exactly how big it is. I know that it's in a bad spot. So, yeah, I'm very, on top of everything else, I'm also really concerned about my friend, and I haven't even been able to get out to the hospital to see her yet. So that's another reason I'm very excited she's being moved to Gwinnett because, yeah. So anyway, it's been a hell of a week. I have cried so many times. I've yelled and screamed, and I've been in the lab, and my brain just will not focus on what I'm trying to do. And it took me so much effort to make your orders, and I didn't even make them all this week. I made a good portion of them, but Peach came in on Tuesday and she knocked out quite a few of them. And then David actually knocked out the last of them yesterday while I was busy doing other things. And, because we're trying to keep up with what's happening in the news. All at the same time, we're trying to keep up with informing our friends, family and friends, what's happening with her. And so it's just crazy. And they want, because they want to know, they want more information, and we can only give them so much, but they want to talk and they want to vent and they want to pass along information, and so it's been so tiring this week. I've been pulled in 100 different directions. So I want to say thank you to everybody who was so patient and didn't freak out because they didn't get their order right away. I know you all knew that you weren't going to get it while we were gone, but the fact that it took me a week to get caught up was actually really kind of unacceptable. So thank you for being patient, and thank you for not bombarding me with emails and calls and being angry about where your order was. I can't thank you guys enough for being patient for that. Because on top of not getting caught up, I was getting bombarded with calls and emails of people just being scared, you know, people just being scared and angry that their vapes are going to be taken away from them. And what do I tell them? You know, I have a store in Massachusetts that placed an order while we were in DC. And he had to call, well, he didn't call, he emailed me and he said, can I cancel my order after Tuesday? I mean, I contacted him and said, hey, look, I just got back. I'm really backed up. I'm going to get your order as soon as I can. I had fortunately not filled it yet. Well, I don't want to say fortunately, because it sucks. I was so sick to my stomach. You know, not that he canceled the order. I mean, that's fine. I sent him the money back, but just that had to happen, you know? That this, you know, this Mad Vapes that had been open for 7 years is just gone. I did spend about, was it 40 minutes? I know it was a good minute. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that I was there for you and that I'm going to be there to help you out, and I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up yet. All right. Georgia has a tendency to be pretty damn lenient when it comes to vaping. It always has been. We actually have some of the most lenient vaping laws in the country. Most of the stores don't even uphold this law, but there is a law in the books that says, first of all, Georgia actually differentiates tobacco from vaping, which is something I don't think any other state does. Vaping is in a category of itself. And Georgia also says that if you are a parent or guardian, you are legal to purchase vaping products for your minor child. Not a friend, has to be a parent, but it is legal to do that here. Most of the shops will not do it. Most of the shops, if you're a parent, you walk in with your kid and you try to buy them vape gear, they'll kick you out. They'll tell you to leave. But technically speaking, it's okay to do. I know. All right, lab time. All right, I'm going to show you guys, like I said, let me make sure I can find my little scale. Yep. I'm going to make 2 bottles today. What I want you guys to do is pick a Higgy Signature flavor. It has to be something we already make. Any Higgy Signature we already make. The first 2 that I see in chat are going to be the 2 that we pick. Because I'm telling you, this is going to be so quick. So quick. Nilla Please and Nilla Nuts. How did I know? Nilla Please and Nilla Nuts. All right, Nilla Please and Nilla Nuts are the first 2 that came up in chat for me. I'm also going to assume version 1. Okay, so Nilla Nuts, Nilla Please. All right, so I didn't even set up my lab camera. Let's do that real quick. Yes, I like to listen to the soundtrack to Labyrinth. The injection. Na, na. Easy. It's not always swell. Don't tell me truth hurts, little girl, 'cause it hurts like hell. You should have said Aries Ram. I haven't. Oh. Those recipes are already out there. You got a Point Evil strawberry. I should use something that's not out there. You know what? I might have to make an executive decision here. I think I am going to use key lime ice cream and... Oh, yeah, to do it.
Peanut Butter Buster is mine, bitch. Key lime ice cream is mine. What the? Who's that bitch now?
All right, you know, you guys are right. If I'm gonna have to vape these, I should use flavors that I enjoy. Let's see here. Oh no, what's going on here? My Java won't activate. Activate, damn it. I know it's outdated because my, no, allow and remember. Okay. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I always suit up when I, oh, I forgot to change this. I always suit up when I go in the lab. That's a requirement. I don't know how messy the lab is. Oh good, it's not that messy. It's dark in there though. I haven't turned the lights off. It's not that messy though. Alright. So I haven't turned the lights on yet. But you guys, okay, so we're gonna do two. Okay, we're gonna do two. I think we're gonna do two of my favorites. How's that? We're gonna do key lime ice cream and how about grapefruit lemonade? No melon baller. No grapefruit lemonade. No melon baller. Ooh, what do I want to put? One of these I'm gonna put in my new Zeus X. Key lime ice cream, and I already have pear champagne for my pod devices. Let's do key lime ice cream and yeah, grapefruit lemonade. Grapefruit, melon baller. No grapefruit. Oh, I can't decide. Somebody tell me to decide grapefruit lemonade or melon baller. I don't like Aries Ram, Dolores. Actually, I don't like the raspberry in it. So somebody pick for me, grapefruit lemonade or melon baller. Melon baller. All right, melon baller. That was the first one that came up. We're gonna do melon baller. So we're gonna do two, okay? Wait, I'm gonna tell you this real quick. Back to here. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do two. I'm gonna do one bottle by volume, and I'm gonna do one bottle by weight. All right, so you guys can see how easy this is. The only thing that you're gonna need to get that you can't get from us yet, and I stress yet, is a bottle. Okay, so you're gonna need an extra bottle. All right, but I'm gonna show you. This is so easy, guys. So easy. All right. All right. I'm gonna see you guys in a minute in the lab. All suited up. This is so quick and easy. I'm not even going to, oh, it is a little bit messy in here, isn't it? Look at all this. David was the one working in here yesterday. He left it messy. He didn't push it away. I'm gonna need these though. Messier than I thought. Okay, this is so quick and easy, guys. I'm not even gonna load up. I can't even see the chat right now, okay? So if you have any questions, and you know what? I probably shouldn't even say this, but you will be working with such a low grade of nicotine, you won't even need gloves, okay? I mean, come on. How often do you lick off on your bottle or on your mod or on your drip tip? This is such a low grade nicotine, it's not toxic, all right? But I'm gonna put gloves on anyway because, lead by example. All right, so when you order a concentrate and an unflavored base from Higgy 6, okay, you will order, say, a 3070 blend, but it's not actually a 3070 blend. It's actually more like an 1585 blend, all right? Because when you add 15% flavoring on top of it, it becomes 3070, all right? So that's what's gonna make this so easy, all right? So we got key lime ice cream. Now, when you order it, you're gonna get it in these cute little bottles, all right? Now we have two different style bottles. We have the needle tip bottles that you're used to with your e-liquid, and that's the kind you would use for weight-based mixing. Or we have press-in bottles, or we have bottles that include a press-in adapter. Those are the weird sizes. They're like 35, 70, and 130 mil. Those press-in adapters will fit these syringes, which we do sell. We have them in 12 milliliter and 3 milliliter. And I have this chart up here, but I can put this chart somewhere on higgycigs.com, somewhere in the DIY section. I'm not sure where yet, but so your bottle of concentrate will have a suggested use on the label. Key lime ice cream happens to be 15%, okay? So you're gonna shake it up, and the chart tells me that for 15%, a 30 ml bottle gets 4.5 milliliters. So I'm gonna turn it upside down if I'm using with volume, and I'm gonna grab 4.5 milliliters of flavoring and throw it in the bottle. Then I'm gonna grab, it's empty. All right, then I'm gonna grab my base bottle, which I bought, that might be 120 mils or a liter, okay? Who knows what it is, right? This is mine, but this is not what yours will look like. But whatever it is, I'm gonna take the base that's already pre-mixed. It's 3 milligram 3070, but it's actually pre-mixed at 3 milligram, like 1585, right? And I'm just gonna fill up my bottle right up to the neck. Done. All right, done and done. That's it. That's all you need. So then you're just gonna wanna put your tip and your cap. And I'm grabbing two because I'm gonna take the other one back to my desk and show you guys how easy this is to do by weight. And you're done. That's it. It takes 30 seconds, if that. Shake it up good, you're done. Put a label on it. Done. Done. Okay. Now, melon baller. Did we decide on? Yeah, we decided on melon baller. So I'm going to take this and this back to my desk, and we're going to do this by weight. Oh, nice catch. All right. I'll see you guys in a minute. Stay cool.
streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. And I never worry, now that is a lie. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard to believe that there's no
Okay.
out there. It's hard to believe
You think Jen needs a bigger bottle? Okay. So, super easy. Easy, what's it? Easy peasy, quick and easy, right? So, I was running around so I can get back here quickly. All right, so I put the stuff I need here. And this is, I'm going to show you guys how to do this by weight now, okay? You see how easy it is? 4.5 milliliters by volume in your bottle. Fill it up with your base. Done. Okay, done. Now, if you don't want to use a syringe and you'd rather work by weight, I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. I haven't done this in a while, so my camera might be off. All right. So here is I don't know if you can see that. Okay, that's really hard to see. Yeah, you guys won't be able to see. You're just going to have to trust me on this, okay? Because the reflection from overhead is, I guess I could turn the light out, but now, so this is showing me grams. It's showing me that the bottle weighs 5.16 grams. This scale does go to hundredths of a gram, which is what you're going to want for mixing. You want to tear it out so that it says 0. And for the most part, it's about a 1-to-1 ratio. I mean, you can certainly go on eliquidrecipes.com and look up different flavors on there and see if they are more than a 1-to-1 ratio. But PG is pretty light. Your flavors are PG based and they're pretty light, and they equal about water, and water is a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so you're going to take your concentrate in your needle tip. Now I don't have it in a needle tip right now, so, but what I'm going to do is pretend that this syringe is my bottle that I bought, okay? And this goes off really fast. All right, so this syringe is my bottle that I bought, and I'm going to put in 4.5 grams of flavoring into this bottle. So I'm just going to drip it in there. At 94, 120, 150, 238, 306, 350, 360, 409, 428, 446, 448, one more. 451. There you go. Okay. So, and that did come out. I pulled out about 5 milliliters, and that came out to, I think I just put 0.6 back in. So it's really, really close. All right. And once you've done that, once you got your 4.5 grams of flavoring in there, you're done. You're done. Take your pre-mixed base, right? Look at that. I'm dripping PG everywhere. Take your pre-mixed base and fill up your bottle. Fill it up to the neck. Try not to spill it, which I'm doing. And then you're done. You're done. okay? And I dripped some, but I don't know, maybe it wasn't on tight. But your bottle won't drip because it'll be in one of those better bottles. All right, but that's it. You're done. Put your nozzle on. Put your cap on. Shake it up. Slap a label on it, and you're done. That's it. That's it. Done. Bottle of juice, done. All right. That is how easy it is. Okay. So, do you sleep ever with all those numbers running? What? I'm calling the scale the dark side? No. No. D. Millen loves the scale. That's the way she mixes, actually. She totally does the scale. She doesn't do by volume. She always does by weight. I would recommend that if you start doing it one way, you stick with that way. If you swap back and forth, your flavors could potentially taste different. I usually just take a Sharpie and write on the bottle like this. This was melon color. And this was Dicklick. Oops. L-I-C. So here's the point is that, yeah, Casey, the only thing, like, as of right now, the only thing extra you'd have to order would be bottles. Okay. That's most likely going to change soon. You can order concentrates from us. You can order unflavored e-liquid already mixed to your preferred nic level and your preferred PG-VG ratio. And that's all you have to do. Throw the flavor in the bottom and fill the bottle up with the base. Guess what? That's how I do it. That's how I make every single one of your bottles. Every bottle is made by hand when you order it by putting flavoring in first and then filling the bottle up to the neck with the base. It's very easy. Did you record me? Did you record me making mistakes and spilling shit? This is true, actually. Even if you use a Sharpie, please do put a label on them because it will rub off really easily. So, yeah. One of these, if you want to use one of these, they're pretty cheap. I think you can get them for about $20 on Amazon. You do want to make sure you get one that goes to, you really want to get one that goes to at least 1/10 of a gram. Hundredths of a gram is better. If you have one that goes to 100ths of a gram, it's very sensitive. You can blow on this thing and change the weight on it, okay? It actually feels the pressure from your breath, all right? They're very, very sensitive. So, but I mean, at least 1/10 of a gram. 100th of a gram would be better. It's very, very simple, okay? You use the pound weigh scale. Recording the Dicklick part would be nice in my collection. Do I love mixing by weight? I do not. I do not. I mix by volume. As you can see, I'm not really set up for mixing by weight. I mix by volume. I have like 4.5 milliliters in a 30 ml, right? If I have a bunch of 30 ml sitting on the counter, like say I have 6 bottles of the same flavor, right? I'll fill it up to 9 milliliters, and then I put 4.5 and 4.5, and then I pull another 9 out, and I go 4.5, 4.5, and then I pull another 9 out, and I go 4.5, 4.5, and then I just fill all the bottles up with the base. So to me, mixing by volume is easier, particularly when I'm doing it in bulk. Or for example, when I'm working with, say, somebody who orders 6 different bottles of different flavors, right? I lay them out on my counter. I pull the 6 flavors. I put the amount in the bottle. Usually, not always, But usually when people order multiple bottles, they almost always order it in the same NIC level and the same PG-VG ratio. Sometimes they order something a little different, but for the most part, people will order what they like. So is there a steep time? Personal preference. I prefer them fresh. I've always preferred my juices fresh. If you like them steeped, then steep them. If you like them fresh, then vape them. I vape them right away. I will vape this key lime ice cream right tonight. I'm gonna wick up my my new Zeus X and put some key lime ice cream in there. The press and adapters and Metadose syringes are expensive. From me or from them? They're kind of pricey. So because I have to buy them by the 100, but you can buy them one at a time from me. I use volumes so I can use percentages with flavorings so I can make sense of it when it might need more of this or that. Yeah, I mean, but for the basic DIYer, the kind of DIYers that are being created right now from all these flavor bands, I want it to be as easy as possible. The ice cream that shall not be named is one of the few I prefer as fresh as possible. I do. Like, I mean, key lime ice cream gets, after about 2 weeks, it gets very creamy. Still tastes like key lime ice cream, but the lime has lost its twang. It's still a good vape, but I really enjoy it when the lime is twangy, if that makes sense. I like the lime to be really twangy and tart, and it calms down, it smooths out, and it gets more of a sweeter lime in about 2 weeks. Some people prefer it that way, and that's fine. I prefer it when it's fresh because it's super tart and twangy, and that's just me. Graduated cylinders, medicine cups and spoons. Bead that twang. I know, right? I like it. Are you going to get some 1 ml syringes? You know what? I should. That's not a bad idea. I should get some 1 ml. The 3 ml syringes are pretty. They're tick marked at 10th. They're tick marked at 10th, and they're pretty good. I think the 3 ml syringes would pretty much suffice for anybody who's using them. I mean, you're talking. Would you ever use hundredths? Like hundredths of a milliliter, because that's the only reason you would need a 1 ml syringe, is if you're actually using hundredths of a milliliter. It'll be tick marked in the hundreds. The 3 ml syringe though is tick marked in tenths, and it's, I think, is more than sufficient for anybody who would use them. I wouldn't say the lime dies. I wouldn't say that. It just becomes more of a sweet, calm lime flavor. It's not a tangy citrus flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it fresh. That's just me. You do all the time. 1 mls they're not hard to get. I can get ones. I can get the exact same ones. I can get like these in one. They're a little pricey, but I can get them. I mean, not pricey. They're really not pricey. It's just I have to buy them 100 at a time. But if you want them, I can get them. I can do that. I'll put it in my to-do list. Oh, this is the other thing that happened to me this week. And I know this is not even, shouldn't even be on the radar as far as severity of shit that happened, you know, with my friend in the hospital and the vaping bans in Massachusetts and everything. But Monday when I was leaving, not only did David take off with my keys, not my car keys, but my house and work keys to Athens, and spent the night at the Athens hospital with our friend, but I walked out of my house and broke my phone. I dropped it, cracked the shit out of it. I've had this phone for 3 years with not a scratch, and it cracked the shit out of it. I went by Verizon today, but they were really busy. There was only like one dude working. Probably going to do it online. You have a couple of good recipes that call for less than a milliliter of flavoring. Okay. All right. I will order 1 ml syringes and I will put them on the website, so you guys can have them. I will do that. I don't know how much they'll cost. I think I have these for $1 and I have the 3s for 50 cents. So I'll have to see how much the ones cost as far as total and that kind of thing, and put a price on them. But I would imagine they'll be less than 50 cents. So probably look for 35 to 40 cents maybe. I can do that. You broke the phone 2 weeks after you got it. Oh, no. Do the press and adapters come in Luer lock? Those syringes are often cheaper. I don't know. I don't think so. These are not Luer lock, but these will fit in the press and adapters perfectly. Like, they don't seem like they're in there that securely, but they totally don't leak. And they don't, like the old syringes I had, actually they fit in there really tightly, but they would put pressure on the press and adapter and would crack them all the time, and then you would go to flip it over like this and it would spill out because it was cracked. These fit in there securely, but don't put pressure on the wall of the press and adapter, and so they don't crack. These are far superior syringes than the ones I used to have. So, but I can get the 1 milliliter ones in. Oh, thank you, D Melon. But they are I love them, and they work so well. I'll get the ones in. These are Neomed. Oh no, they work great for me. They were out of the blue ones, actually. I just bought a whole, like 200 of these. And I always get the one with the blue gradations on it. They called me up and they said, we're out of those and we don't know when we're getting more. Will you take orange? So I have brown ones. They say they're orange. It's actually brown. So when you guys order your liters, and it'll come with one of these, they're not blue anymore. They're brown. Could you also get the ball end caps? How long has it had since? Oh, it's been a minute and a half. They have caps. Are you talking about that? I do put caps on them when I send it out to you guys. If I forgot, I'm sorry. They have little. I don't have one with me, but they have little orange caps that you can stick on the top of them. And they kind of look like a ball. They're orange. Is that what you're talking about, Becca? All right. What time is it? It's only 9:30. Yeah, let's wick this baby up. Get this stuff out of the way. I'm so excited. I want to use my my new Zeus X. I can't believe I've had this thing for 2.5 weeks already. All right. In my effort to expand my palate, I got into flavors to make key lime champagne. Nice. No, the syringes, the cap to cap the end. Yeah, I have little, well, I sell Glad Press and Seal. RS sent me a whole case of it once. I have a ton of it here. I don't want to sell it though. Yeah, I do have a cap on the end of the syringe. It's a little orange cap. So yeah, no, it'll come with that. I'll send it. I would send it that way. All right, let's do this. I even took my coils and everything with me, extra cotton and everything, to DC, and then I ended up not using it. I put cotton, coils, all this stuff I took because I was like, yeah, I'm going to wick this up while I'm there. Didn't happen. Did not happen. All right. So, I haven't even opened. This is the first time I've opened this, guys. Look at that deck. Okay, now this is different. This has little hexome screws. Does my other one have hexome? I'm not sure. Okay, I don't remember. I thought my other one had flathead. I am strawberry. Is that not amazing? I'm glad I didn't try to do this then, because I didn't bring a hex key with me. Let's see, where's my... I need to find a hex tool now. I don't even know where one is. That's flathead. Phillips head. I'm looking. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where my... I don't have a hex tool here. Oh, there's one. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, that works. So again, this is Wish shopping here. You do not get the same package that you get when you, of course now, to be fair, I didn't look in the box to see if there were other screws. There might be. I'm pretty sure that my other Zeus Exo did not have hex screws. There we go. Check the bag. There might be. I have to go look in the box. All right, so let's remember which way to do this now. This is the positive. This is the negative. You can see the insulation. I don't know if you can see that down in there, but you can see this one is got some insulation around the deck of this side. So don't put the coils this way. You got to put the coils this way. I know it's crazy. What happened, Strawberry, was I wasn't given. I was asked to test a Zeus X by a friend. He was having trouble with his, and he was like, I can't get this thing to work. He's like, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. He says, would you? I'll send it to you. Will you check it out? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So, oh, where's my coily? So he sent it to me, and the first thing I discovered very quickly is that his 510 pin was super loose. I started to coil it, and like this whole like side of the deck would just wobble. It was super, super loose. So I flipped it over and saw that the 510 pin was like, I mean, it was ready to fall out. I'm not sure how he didn't see that. So I tightened it up. He said he said he was getting a gurgling problem. You know what? I don't need the coily for this because these coils stand up top. So they stand up. So I'm still going to use the coily. Let's see here. Because I want to cut them down. I'm going to cut them down to 4.5. Anyway, so I wicked it up, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I got this great flavor from it, and it worked really, really well. I did it live, if I'm not mistaken, and it worked so well, and I was so impressed. So then I kept on using it, and I just was really, really, really enjoying. I was really enjoying having the what's the word I'm looking for? Convenience of a tank. You know, not having to refill all the time, and don't lose it. There we go. I haven't even taken the tag off this thing yet. Look at that. Love my coily. So, and I was really enjoying it. So I told Corey, my friend who sent it, that he wasn't getting it back. But actually, I didn't tell him that. I ordered one for myself. I ordered the rainbow one for myself, and I didn't expect him to place an order. He said, "Oh, you can just send it to me the next time I place an order." Well, then we had a big sale, and he placed an order. He orders me about every 6 weeks. He orders a liter, and so we had a big sale though, and he was all like, "Oh yeah, he placed a huge order actually." Oh, look at that! That fits in there so nice. And and I was like, "Okay, dude," I said, "I did not expect you to order again this quickly. So you're just going to have to wait," because I said I ordered one on Saturday night. "You're going to have to wait 3 to 5 days for this to ship to me." And he was like, "All right, no big deal. I got plenty to go on." So I shipped it back to him though, and I sent it to him with my coils in it, so he got some free coils, and he got and it had some of my Lady of Gray, Lady of Earl juice in there as well. I mean, I burned it off as much as I could, but there was still some left in there because I didn't want to burn the cotton, and I wanted him to see how I had wicked it so that he wicked it properly, and he's now in love with the Zeus X. So yeah, all's well that ends well. So tighten these babies down. Tighten. Make sure I did it the right way, because that's the real kicker, is if you do it the wrong way and you go positive to positive and then negative to negative, it ain't gonna work, okay? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So, you're also after a pumpkin cookie. Ooh, pumpkin butter toast. Ooh. All right, so now if you can see this, they're touching each other. They're not in there very pretty, okay? So now it's time to kind of take these and, you know what, I shouldn't use this. I should use my, the Coil Master tool to do this. It's better than all right, so you gotta sort of straighten these bad boys up, and you don't want them to touch each other, but you do want them to be close together. You just don't want them to touch. The other way to remember which way they go across, I mean, like I said, you can see the insulation that goes around the deck here that is basically surrounding this side, which signifies the positive. But also look at the wicking holes. The wicking holes are here and here, right? The way this RDA or this RTA is built is that there is a moat. There's a moat that goes the whole way around down underneath here, and this is where the juice fills up. All right, so your wicks then come down through here and stuff this hole closed and stuff this hole closed. And that's the way that I think it's really well designed. You also don't want the coils touching the posts, because that'll short it out too. Okay, those are very, very close together, but not touching. All right, let's put some batteries in this bad boy. Yeah. Shoot, I'll just take these out. I have not used my Zeus or my Eclipse in forever. I'm so excited to use it. Woo! You need to get a bunch of flavors. There are new ones flying left and right. What? All right. So we're gonna. Okay, now this is set up to 65 watts because that's where I left it last time. But I tell you what, this thing hits a lot harder than the .com. So I'm gonna take it down to 45. Because that's what I was using it on the VIT is 45. It's reading at 0.13 ohms right now, but it's gonna go up as I break it in. So you want to pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. You gotta break them in. Ooh, they're almost there. Almost there. Give them a little bit of stroke. Ooh. Oh, got a little bit of a hot spot there. Oh, there's a little hot spot right there. Oh, don't give me hot spots. I don't like hot spots. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. No hot spots. Oh. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Yes. Man, you cannot beat some Aries coils. I'm telling you, you cannot beat them. They are so nice. Oh, look at that. Evenly heating. Oh, no hot spots. Damn, they're good. Love it. You cannot beat you some Aries coils. Now, I took this out of my bag. I don't even know if this is Muji. I don't think it's Muji cotton. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Muji cotton. It feels really thin. That's a thicker piece. Let's use this piece. I know, right? It's such a feeling. Oh, thank you. Only one is blue. Just these are blue. It is a feeling of accomplishment when you get the coils to seat right. Because I had a hard time with it for a really long time. I didn't like using specialty coils because of that. I actually tended to shy away from them for that very reason. Now I think this is the Puffs cotton. I don't think this is Muji cotton. So I'm not going to do a lot of raking and whatnot because it's pretty thin to begin with. But I am going to peel off the outside layers. The thing about RTAs is that there's this sort of magical balance that you have to find. All right, you want to stuff up those holes and prevent the juice from flooding into the juice well or into the deck, is what I should say. But you don't want to stuff them so tight that the juice can't get through. Okay, so it takes some practice. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was not very good at it when this was when RTAs were first a thing. I couldn't do it. I shied away from them for the longest time. As a matter of fact, I shied away from them until somebody sent me this. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I did send I got the Fatality before I got, and I take care of David's. But the Fatality is just so incredibly easy to wick. It's stupid. Okay, so we got our wicks in. You'll never forget. Make sure to tighten again. Oh, good call, sweetie. Good call. I didn't even check the ohms to make sure that it's ohming right. They're Aries coils, so you know they're going to be perfect. Let's see here. 0.28, right on the money. Right on the nose. 0.28 every time. I'm telling you, you cannot beat Aries coils. Now you cannot, I'm going to tell you, you cannot buy these particular coils from us because these are kind of made special for me. But I'm telling you, they ohm out perfectly every single time. They're amazing. All right, so I got the wicks in here. I'm going to basically, you want to cut it right at the edge of the deck. Okay, so you got, I usually give it maybe just a hair more. Not a lot, just a hair more than the edge of the deck. So there you go. And then you just want to take, you can take them both at the same time and just shove it down in there. Okay. And like I said, you want to make sure that they're snug in the coil, not like super tight, right? Not like Scottish roll tight, but they're snug in the coil and they're snug in the hole here. Okay. If it's not filled for the juice well, or for the juice little moat is actually what I call it. If there's not enough wicking material in this hole, the juice is going to fill up and it's going to get into the deck and it's going to gurgle and spit and all that other kind of crap. If it's too tight, the juice can't flow into the cotton and make its way up into the coil. So it's a delicate balance. Tell them why they want this as opposed to just coils. Tell them why they want this as opposed to just coils. Oh, dude, this is Aries coils. Number one, these will last forever. Okay, I mean, yes, I'm exaggerating a little bit when I say forever, but easily 6 months. I would say 4 to 6 months. You will not have to worry about changing out your coils for 4 to 6 months. Depending on the type of juice you like to vape, the flavor you like to vape, the brand you like to vape. I mean, if they're overly sweet, you're probably going to gunk them up a little bit faster. But if you use Hagee juice, it's not a coil gunker. We don't have coil gunkers, so you will easily keep these. You know, you guys that use stock coils, you know, you're paying what, $15 for like a pack of 3, right? Yeah, you may pay $15 for the set of coils, but it's going to last you 6 months. That 3-pack of coils lasts you what, like 6 weeks tops, right? I'm way too lazy, so everyone has a game. Oh, oh wait, what? Using stock coils these days? But like Dolores will tell you though, like, you know, that they're kind of expensive, and depending on how you vape and what you vape, you know, may not get a lot of use out of them. David used to get about 2, maybe 3 weeks out of his coils on the stock, on the smart coils. All right, so now we've wet our wicks, right? Broken in our coils. We're ohming out at a perfect, oh, it went down a little bit. Why did that happen? It went down to 0.23, maybe just because I put some juice on them. It'll go back up. All right, so there are notches in here, and there are notches on the deck. So you want to match those up, and then you just screw it down. Oop. Okay. It is a top fill. This is your airflow control, this band right love this design because it is a top airflow. Okay, what it is you've got inside here, maybe I should have showed you guys this, but there's actually two chimneys. Okay, there's the outer chimney and there's the inner chimney, and the inner chimney has air holes in it. Okay, so your airflow is actually going down in between the two chimneys and then through the air holes of the inner chimney, which is right in front of the coil. And that's what's causing then taking your vape up through the center part and through the mouthpiece. Okay, this design is brilliant because it is leak proof. Like seriously, this thing cannot leak. All right, I can lay this down on its side all day long and I will never have any juice leaking out of it. All right, and that's what makes the Zeus X such a brilliant design, in my opinion. See, look at that. I've already rubbed off some of it because I was holding it. I don't know how much this holds, but it's a decent amount too. Well, I mean, this is what, like a third gone? No, not quite a third, maybe a quarter gone. So I would say I just used up 6 or 7 milliliters right there. Top fill, top airflow. I love this thing. I think this thing is awesome. Okay, so I wasn't paying attention to chat all that time because I was faced this way. I apologize for that. All right, here we go. Key lime ice cream for the first time in quite some time. You ready? Finger test it. Ooh, that's good. That's good. All right, now I'm excited. That is like having lunch with an old friend. Oh, hi. Where you been? Where you been? I missed you. You're coming to my house for 3 days to get you up on the next elevation. Just remember, easy peasy is the key. I am a flavor chaser. I'm telling you, this Zeus X, I love it. I love it. And I'm like, Evil Strawberry will tell you if she's still here. You could not get me off the .com. And it's not that I haven't tried other tanks, okay? I have. I have plenty of them here. I've got an Aromomizer. I've got the Twisted Messes. I mean, you can even get me on another RDA. I got a Twisted Messes RDA. I've got the Nunchaku UL tank. I've got the Littlefoot RDA. I've got a Fatality. It's a clone, but still I got a Fatality. I have about 6 .coms. I would try them and it'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. But nothing was doing it for me like the .com. The .com just has amazing flavor to me. And all my flavors tasted the way they were supposed to taste on my .com. You couldn't get me off the .com to save my life. And lo and behold, the Zeus X did it. It is kind of, it's, I wouldn't say it's postless. It's just a top post versus a side post. But it kind of has to be, because, you know, it needs to be slim. Like the footprint of the deck when it's coiled needs to be slim. So it kind of has to be, I could see that. Like, I mean, but I could see why that would put you off. The .com, for example, is a side post, has side posts, right? You put the coils into the side like this. This one, they still have posts, but you load the coil in from the top. you have the .com and all the other everything. Like I said, I mean, I just had, oh God, that's good. It's like having lunch with an old friend, I'm telling you what. Ah. Damn, that's tasty. But yeah, I have, oh, and I have the Cthulhu, which is an RDTA, right? I have all these other RDAs and tanks and RTAs and whatnot, and they just weren't doing it for me. Like, I'd always go back to the .com, the .com, the .com. This is the first thing to get me off my .com in probably 4 years. You gotten used to building it. Velocity decks are pretty cool. Velocity decks, like, because like the .com has this, you put the coils in from the side and the screws are on top. The Velocity decks, you have, you put the coils in from the side, but then it has side screws that you tighten down. The Velocity decks are pretty cool. This is so good. I remember why I vaped it for like 3 years. Whew, that's good. Seriously, if y'all have not tried key lime ice cream, now you have to like citrus. Okay, you do have to like citrus, and I do like citrus. I don't generally care for creamy vapes, but ooh, this is good. Could you do custom concentrates? I see you have horchata. I like strawberry horchata. You know what? I could, because they don't regulate concentrates. I wouldn't want to, I mean, I don't really have the time to develop a new flavor, but if you know exactly how much strawberry, like percentage-wise, you'd want me to put into it, I could totally do that. Because they can't regulate that. And, well, I mean, they could, but they don't regulate flavors. So if you told me, hey, look, I want the horchata, but put like 10% strawberry in it, I could do that. I don't have any problem doing that. We talked about, we haven't done it yet, but we talked about bringing back our customizer. If you've been around Higgy Sigs for long enough, you remember we actually used to have a customized Higgy juice option where you could actually go through and create your own recipe, and you could name it, and I would make a label that had that name on it. So, you know, if you look on our website now, you'll see there's a category called Customer Creations. I made it for you in the past. If I made it for you in the past, it might be in the notes on one of your orders. I'd have to go through and see if I could find that. Because generally speaking, when I made something custom for somebody, I would put a note in the order so I could go back and reference it. So that's very possible. But yeah, we used to have a customize your own, you know, make your own flavor product. And we listed out all of our flavors, and we let you put in percentages, and then we would just let you check the flavors you wanted, and then you'd let us do the percentages. You know, you kind of use my expertise on how to mix the flavor together. But when the FDA came along, we had to stop that because they suck. I know Unicron remembers. Because Unicron used to have me make weird shit. Like pickle bacon pizza shit. And oh my god, he was always having me use the pizza flavor. I was so glad when we threw that away. That stuff smelled so bad. It smelled like greasy cheese. It was just nasty. I know, Sweeney, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm big fan of the Zeus X. Like I said, it is the only device that has gotten me off my .com in 4 years. Oh, that's so good. You guys still do PB&J? Absolutely, Sweeney. We have a whole PB&J line. You can choose creamy or crunchy peanut butter. And then we have 6 different J's to choose from. All of them are registered. All of them are absolutely legal and compliant at this point. You can choose apple butter, blackberry, blueberry, grape, raspberry, and strawberry jams. And yes, you can get all the concentrates except raspberry, I think. Because well, you can get raspberry. If you live in the United States, let me correct that. If you live in the continental United States and you want one of the PB&Js that are not listed on the website, just pick one of the other ones and then tell me to switch it out. Actually, I think it might be blackberry too. What if a flavoring is considered flammable, it can't be put on a plane, so I can't send it overseas. So right now, all of the concentrates that are on the website are available worldwide because they're not considered flammable. Raspberry, however, is considered a flammable flavoring, and I think blackberry? I'm not sure. But I also have those jams available. If you just want the straight up jam, you can get the straight up jam flavors in the concentrates as well. We didn't register those as e-liquid flavors, so you can't get those straight up in an e-liquid, but you can get them in a concentrate. So if there are any of you in the audience that are living in one of the flavor ban states, I got you. And it's super easy. All right, it's super easy. The flavorings will say on the bottle what the suggested use is, and you just put that amount in the bottle and then fill it up with the base. Right? You can get both products from me. It'll be easy enough. It's super easy. All right. I'm here for you. I just want to let you know I'm here for you. I am not going to let you starve for your vape products. All right. I want to throw in a couple of things. Tomorrow is National Coffee Day, and David has been putting together a quick little, have I considered changing your name? I really would like to go to just Higgies, like Higgies.com. Unfortunately, that domain is parked, and they want $1,800 for it. So it's supposed to be expiring this year, actually. We'll see if they renew it or not. If they do, I mean, I would love to just go Higgies.com. I can't get yeah, like I said, it's like $1,800. So until I can come up with $1,800, to waste, I can't get Higgies.com. But yeah, I would really like to just go Higgies. We do have HiggieBean.com, and we're working on something else. It's kind of top secret right now, but we never wanted. We've had people ask us about that before. We've had people ask us about, oh, you should take SIGs out of the name, because it's would think it would be for smokers. Duh. We are here for smokers. Higgy.com is not taken, I don't think, but Higgies.com is taken. And Higgies.com is like $1,800. Fuckers. And it's one of those places that brokers sites, like they have a shit ton of sites and they just sell them for what they think is available. Hogs? I didn't look up Hoggy. I know Tony likes to call me Huggy, so I could look up Huggies. There's more to Higgy Sigs than me. There's also Jen's husband, isn't Higgies LLC might be available. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really do want Higgies.com. I could do Higgies infusions for the concentrates. Higgies infusions. Like I said, we do have something we're working on that will make it even easier. But it's top secret. Top secret. But yeah, the whole point of us having the SIGs in it, first of all, it kind of does the Hig e-cigs, right? It's sort of a play on words. And we want to attract the smokers. Like, that's the whole point. We want to attract the smokers. We want to convert all of them. Okay? You know, first of all, smoking rates are at historic lows. All right? Nobody ever thought we'd be this low on the smoking rates. It is ridiculously small. It has dropped so much in the last 6 years. It's insane. So, and yes, I know it's because of vaping. You know it's because of vaping. They want to claim that, oh, no, we did that ourselves. You know, the ants, organizations. No, we did that. Whatever. You can put sangria in a glass. No, don't do that. Guys, this is very concentrated flavoring, okay? This is very concentrated flavoring. You have to dilute this stuff down a lot to be able to use it in food stuffs, okay? So, yeah, smokers are a dying breed. And it surprises me, actually, when I do see smokers, or more pointedly, when I smell them, that they're still even around as much as they are. Especially, that's the other thing, just like, this is so readily available. Like, this is so available, right? I mean, you could pick up this stuff anywhere, and it's so easy. I don't know about you guys. I know there might still be some dual users in here, and that's no judgment, absolutely no judgment if you are. But, like, I switched to this. I didn't even want to stop smoking. I loved smoking. I did this so painlessly and so seamlessly without even trying. Like, I didn't even try to stop smoking. It just happened. And I'll never go back. I mean, whew. You too? It was so seamless, wasn't it? So seamless. And I never thought, I'd only like to say that I'm a cloud chaser. I don't consider myself a cloud chaser, right? Nah. But there is something so satisfying, right? There's something so satisfying about taking a big old hit. So satisfying about that. But I wouldn't say I'm a cloud chaser. I'm definitely more of a flavor chaser. This is my ringtone. So it's not my ringtone right now. I go back and forth. My ringtone is like a G6. I know, right? And that's just it. I wouldn't even know if I had the right device, but I really did like the device I had. It was a Joyetech 510T. I still keep it around just for posterity's sake. I don't even know what that means, posterity's sake. Good night, Dolores. I'm going to close down here in a minute. This was my first device. The Joyetech 510T. It has a little tank, right? A little bitty atomizer inside. That was my first device. Loved it. Awesome. You get the right device and the right flavor, and cigarettes are just a thing of the past. And it can take, that's the other thing too. Be sure you tell anybody who's trying vaping for the first time, they're like, oh no, it didn't work for me. Your vaping journey can take years, okay? I had flavors I enjoyed, but and they kept me off the cigarettes. But it was probably 2-3 years before I found one that I stuck with. Like, I switched flavors up You know, I'd try one. I'd buy, you know, this is back when I was still buying bottles, right? I'd buy a bottle from My Freedom Smokes, and then I'd buy a different flavor. You know, when that bottle was low, I'd buy a different flavor. Um, you know, then we started Higgy Cigs, and I would swap around a lot. And then I think Pacific Coast Salad was my first one that I ever stuck with for a long time. Probably stuck with that one for a good year or so. And then it was pineapple ice cream, which I didn't stay on very long because we made key lime ice cream shortly after that. And then I stayed on key lime ice cream forever. But yeah, now I'm on my tea flavor. I should do a wine vape pairing segment. You know, I do have a chart, actually. I keep it taped to the inside of one of my cabinets of what kind of wines pair with what kind of foods. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. And you know what? I feel a lot better having vented and informed you guys of kind of what's going on. And I know all you know what's going on, but just sort of venting and talking about it. And it's not over, okay? It's not over, okay? It's ramping up, and it looks really hopeless. All right, but it's always darkest before the dawn, guys, okay? And do not stop fighting. Make your voices heard. We've got a year, 14 months, 13 months, 14 months before the next election. All right? Make it known. Make it known your vote depends on your right to vape, okay? Don't stop. Don't stop making your voice heard. We need everybody. Everybody. All right. All right. I love you guys. I'm assuming that they are probably doing their fuckery over on the other side. So I'm going to, oh, look at that. I'm not even signed in. Look, I never sit in. I'm not even signed in. Did I not type in chat all this time? That's crazy. iVlog is on? Okay. I'm going to put the link in the room. For those of you who still want some entertainment tonight, head on over to iVlog. Your vote shall be heard. Absolutely. Head on over there, and I will see you guys literally on the other side. Have a great evening. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow, actually, from 4 to 6 for Trench's Funny Farm. Good night. I remember Holy Grail really well. I can recite it right now and have you ROTFLOL. I got a business doing websites. Tequila ice cream is so good. I do HTML for them all. Even made a homepage for my doll. Yo, I got myself a fanny pack. They were having a sale down at the Gap. Spend time with a roll up bubble wrap. Pop, pop, hope no one sees me. Getting freaky. I'm nerdy in the extreme and whiter than sour cream. I was in a V club and Glee club and even the chess team. Only question I ever thought was hard was, do I like Kirk or do I like Picard? Spend every weekend at the Renaissance Fair. Got my name on my underwear. They see me strolling, they laughing and rolling their eyes.